What
There he is.
You found it.
is the opposite of bougie?
This guy always having a stroke.
Bougie.
What's bougie?
Bougie?
Bougie.
Are you saying bougie?
I have gum in my mouth. I guess Ruzzle is gum.
Ruzzles?
Is it Ruzzle? Razzle.
He's talking about razzles.
Yeah.
He's talking about
This
razzles.
motherfucker talking about razzles.
Like the chewy,
oh boy,
the
Razzle's
building
like-
blocks.
Yeah.
where are we?
Razzle. Dazzle.
Is this a fever dream? What is he saying? Words?
Nah.
Do I have COVID again?
Yeah, girl, I'm nuts for your guts, girl. I'm nuts for your guts. I don't know what I do if I couldn't cut into you. I'm in love with you, and what that entails is me ripping myself up like the mummy with your entrails. Cause I'm nuts for your guts, girl. I'm nuts for your guts. I don't know what I do if I couldn't cut into you. Before we get into Halloween kills from 2021, we're gonna thank a few Patrons. We're gonna want to go back and forth.
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
Can you read that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. The first one we're thanking is Skylar. Oh shit, I can't read that one. The screen's a little. Huff Stutler.
Huff Stutler.
Does that say Stutler?
Huff Stutler.
That's a T.
Yes.
Skylar Huff Stutler. Dude, Huff Stutler is actually a pretty sick name. You know, like you're huffing, you're strutting.
Yeah.
Stifler.
Yeah.
American Pie. That's good stuff. All right.
Next up, we got Ricky DeBats.
DeBats, like that's like they have all the bats.
All of them.
How many bats do you think they have?
They got all. Well, it's actually multiple types because they have like the fruit bats and they have the vampire bats, but then they also have the baseball bats.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
The swing. A thank you to Havana. Havana? Like, you think they're from? Okay. Leanne D. Go ahead. Leanne D's nuts. Got him. Can you snap for me? I don't know how to snap. There we go. Go ahead.
You don't know how to snap?
No, I can't whistle either.
Oh my god! All right, we got a special thank you to Samantha Robb.
Samantha Robb. Rob my knob, corn on the cob. Rob a dob spaghetti.
Uh-oh.
Frit. Thank you to Jessica Spadovada. I said it right. No,
I think
don't
you got
wait.
it.
Don't
I think
try
you nailed
to.
it. I think you nailed it.
Spadovada, right?
I think you nailed
Do you
it.
think I actually did? Is that sounds genuine? So I did.
No, it's Sepulveda.
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 Yeah.
Sepulveda.
All right, get him
Oh,
out of here.
boy.
Patrons, you guys are awesome.
Thanks,
We love
Patreons.
you. I hope you guys are happy that we're doing stuff on Patreon now. That sounded passive aggressive. That sounds like patronizing. I hope you guys are.
I hope you're fucking happy.
No, I really do hope you guys are ecstatic. I still sound like a dick.
I hope you're enjoying
There you go.
the content that we've been able to put on Patreon.
Good at PR.
You know me?
Dude, I like how you're fucking fisting this wine bottle into your glass right now. Yeah. But thank you guys. You guys are helping us do cool things. We gotta if people don't know, we got a cool set now.
Yeah.
We're doing YouTube videos. It's a little confusing because YouTube's hard, you know. You gotta upload them and the upload takes forever. So like, you know, maybe we'll get them out on the same day eventually, but until we get on this schedule, we did a calendar. We did a calendar.
We did do
Is
a
that what we should say?
calendar.
We did a whole calendar. You know what, tough guy, you want to read off the first 5 movies we're recording? Don't read off all of them because that we put like an insane amount on this calendar. And I'm gonna say that we're gonna try to do all of these. And not mess up. Maybe I don't think the order is going to be the order that Tough Guy is saying I'm in.
Right.
But we'll try to clear it up in a second. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Amityville, Thanksgiving.
So I thought that was releasing soon, but I looked it up, and then apparently it's available for order on Amazon. I don't know if it's lying to me because it said it came out on the 22nd, but it said if I order it right now, it'll show up in like 2 days. So I was like, okay, I'll order it.
Yeah,
and then
we'll see what
hopefully
happens.
we can check that out.
Worst case scenario, they don't ship it until it comes out.
But it's also, that one's confusing because Kim's supposed to be here, hopefully, on the 18th for like 2 days. Yeah. So like 2 or 3 days. So we're hoping that we can like, get her to do it with us. And also Nia's going to be here for sure. Kim's trying. Nia's for sure going to be here. So we need Kim here for it.
It's true.
Unless we do it, and then I also make Kim do it. That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
That's the only way around it. But that's too much. Okay, what's the next one, tough guy?
Well, our annual, Thanksgiving.
We're going to do Thanksgiving again this year.
Thanks, killers.
And
Thanks,
if you listen to the Scream episode, I think it's only on like the Wondery and Amazon Music side of things right now by the time this episode comes out. But we announced it on the most recent Scream episode, Black Sunday, 1960, that we are doing Scream. God damn it. We are doing Thanksgiving.
We're doing the name of your favorite movie.
We're doing Thanksgiving for the month of November, for the end of November, really, on Scream. And then it was just kind of a thing where, James was there, and I looked at him, and I was like, hey, should we just do Thanksgiving on Horror Soup too?
Why not?
Because why not? Remember that podcast that we liked that did, what movie did they do every
Grown-Ups 2, right?
Grown-Ups 2 every week for a year. And then they moved on to I think a Sex and the City movie or something for their second run of it after they finished the Grown-Ups 2 thing.
Yeah.
But me and you were kind of into that show for a while.
Yeah.
And that whole concept of just doing something every single week for a year. And this is a little different, There's doing it once every year.
I think we just got to go hard on Thanksgiving every year. I think we should.
Why not?
I mean, obviously, I think we can do an episode on it. I think we could also do another. Didn't you do a Discord watch party?
I did.
On
I think
Thanksgiving?
we could do anything, dude.
That'd be super fun.
We could do a watch party again. We could do it just as an episode every year. We could just
all of the above.
Just plug it a lot and just try to get the world onto it. I think, and you know what? There's no other horror podcast doing Thanksgiving multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Nobody loves it like you love it.
I have done it twice already, I guess, technically, because me and Bri fucked up the first episode. I think it's on Patreon or something. So it was done before. And then it was done again on Scream.
Nice.
But, it needs to be just done again on the same medium all the time.
Yeah.
And I guess this will be different, too, though, because it is Thanksgiving with you, me, Tough Guy, maybe whoever else is there. I guess Nia might be there for that one, too. And that could be a thing
else,
too.
You'll have different guests every time you watch. You know what I mean?
Well, now with you as a permanent thing going forward, and Tough Guy being the most frustrating producer in the world. I think we could just toss someone else into the mix every year.
Yeah,
just be hey, let's get this
the joke
guy
is
here.
we're showing them Thanksgiving.
We're showing someone Thanksgiving every year.
Yeah, it's not even about us reviewing it or talking about it. It's about, hey, what did you think about Thanksgiving?
Let's be honest, though. Is anything about us reviewing anything? No. It's mostly just about this guy looked fucking stupid in this scene. If that's not a definition of the show, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But really, even if a guest doesn't show up, I just want to do Thanksgiving every year from now on.
We should.
I watch it more than any other movie. It's the only tradition that I really stick to. I try to stick to Christmas traditions and Halloween traditions and all this. For some reason, though, that Thanksgiving every year,
yeah,
it sticks.
Nah, man. Halloween 3 on Halloween, always.
Yeah.
And then first day of Christmas break.
A Christmas Story?
Gremlins.
Okay, I will say I think I stick to A Christmas Story every year.
A Christmas Story is good.
I really love A Christmas Story.
I
hate saying A Christmas Story over and over again when we're talking about it.
But that's what it's called?
Yeah, I was trying to stay true to the title, but I don't like that. Okay, go on.
I think I've already said this before, but my adoptive father never calls me on the phone, but I get one phone call a year, and it's right around Christmas, and it's always
about A Christmas Story, right? He's A Christmas Story's on TV.
He doesn't know how to work his own DVD player.
Oh, and he's trying to watch A Christmas Story.
I need to watch A Christmas Story on this damn thing. What button do I push? Every year, I swear to God.
It's so funny, too, because I call my grandma all the time, and, I kind of just talk to my grandpa because he's there. But I don't try to call him because I know he'd just be like, how's this damn button work? But I know that, the day that he does call me, it's going to be to just go, He's gonna call me from my grandma's phone. He's gonna have her call me.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, I can't get the damn internet to connect on my phone.
Right.
Like something like that. Because I swear to God, anytime I'm around him, he just pulls me to the side. He's like, Caleb, come over here. He's like, this damn thing keeps popping up. And then he's like, he's always like real like motiony with his hands and stuff. And he's just like, and I don't know how. But he's always like, he's like expelling his anger and then holding it back for a second. He's just like, dog. He's basically going, doggone it. It's just,
dag nabbit.
Dude, old people in electronics is probably my favorite thing in the world.
It's good stuff,
It
man.
is so funny.
It's good.
It is so funny.
It's comedy gold, really.
So funny. Oh. Okay, well, I guess we're not. What's the rest of the schedule?
I mean, December coming up, Christmas with
I don't
Cookie.
want. I don't want. We go. Is that the next thing we're recording after that?
I mean, you know, we have ski
Nah,
school.
it says Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 or 2022.
Yeah, we're coming to that.
And then, we're gonna do Skinner sometime soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Skinner's
so
on-
people
yeah.
watch
The craziest movie we've ever found.
watch Skinner. I don't know. We don't know the date of that one. We're trying to figure out like who's going to be on that because we're trying to get as many people as possible in on this thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
That movie's a fucking ride.
It's Ted Raimi, Ricky Lake. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
Ricky Lake is dressing like a Cabbage Patch Kid the whole
Dude,
movie.
it's insane. These baby doll dresses, whole nother level.
Ted Raimi's obsessed with water.
Yeah.
He's basically the equivalent of Moses Hackman. If you know who that is, you know who it is. Yeah, ski school. We're doing a ski movie soon. I guess that maybe should have been a surprise, but I don't care.
Whoops.
That's gonna be cool, man.
They've been hearing you talk about it for a long time.
I love ski movies so much, and I feel like we need to just kind of break out of like what we're doing. Like
You know what? It's called ski
Ski Soup.
Ski soup.
Ski scoop, ski scoop. Get the scoop on ski scoop. Ski soup. Damn it. Get the scoop on ski poop. Shit my pants.
Oh boy.
Now I gotta wipe. You want to talk about a movie?
I'm ready.
Halloween Kills.
I have a lot of things to
It's
say.
not October anymore.
Yep.
Not even close. We're pretty deep into November at this point, if we're being honest.
That is correct, sir.
We didn't do Halloween 4.
What's happening in November, man? It's already gone.
Halloween ends. We probably should have done this before that.
Yeah.
We're doing it after.
No, I think
You know what? You're right. It needs like a retrospective kind of
yeah,
look at it.
Because I feel like other people probably had to go on this same journey.
Do I hate this movie any less or more? No, not really. I feel pretty much the same about it, but I'll give it a little more credit where it's not due.
Mm-hmm.
Keyword, not due.
Yep.
Just because I just watched Halloween Ends. And it does, I will say, it does put a lot of, I'd say mainly just characters, just interactions with characters and just things that they do. Mainly that dickhead officer.
Hawkins.
Puts him in a whole different light.
It really does.
Watching this movie just pissed me off so much.
It made me so mad.
His scenes made me way more annoyed than I was with them before. And I didn't care about them before. I was like, all right, you're annoying, but like, who cares? Now I'm like, oh no, I have a face for you. I have feelings toward you. And I don't like you at all. A real scumbag, that one.
Oh, fucking Hawkins, man.
So, I mean, it is kind of necessary to cover this movie after Ends, I guess, in a way.
I feel like we're not the only people who did this, who watched Ends and was like, hang on a second, and then went back to watch Kills.
Are you glad we didn't do the week after? You know, like that we gave this kind of like a little break in between and then we got to it?
Yeah, I am actually.
That also
glad.
put this in a different light.
For sure.
Because I would have just been full on pissed and had nothing to say at all. But now I'm like, no, I have feelings. Like I've been able to stew and like sit on this for a little bit and just think about it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It's weird.
The David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy is kind of insane. Like,
it's not a trilogy, dude. It's
not
three
a
different.
trilogy.
It's just three different entities.
I don't know how it got made.
At least the
Like, I
Rob
don't know how it
Zombie,
got
like
made.
1 and 2, like they're terrible. But it's like, all right, the second one's a sequel. What happened here? Because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. This had a budget of $20 million.
Sure did.
Made $131.6 million at the box office.
Sure as fuck did.
I don't know if we should get really deep into the whole writing thing in this, because really, I don't like to be that podcast that's like, hey, go back to the other episode. But we had this whole conspiracy theory about, like, you know, David Gordon Green isn't writing these movies. Who's the other guy, the comedy guy? I'm like Danny McBride. Danny McBride. Every time I think the name Danny McBride now, I want to think that it's not him, because there was a the Underworld.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, there was a Danny McBride in Underworld, and I'm always just like, oh no, that's not the same person now. And I knew Danny McBride, like the comedy Danny McBride, way before. What was his HBO show again?
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down, dude. I watched the fuck out of Eastbound and Down back in the
shit.
day, and I'd still watch it. I haven't rewatched in a long time, but so I've known him from that, like, since I was like a kid, basically. I mean, that show's been out for a while. When did that come out?
I don't even know, man.
Maybe late 2000s, early 2000s.
That sounds
or like mid, like not early, like maybe 2000.
Yeah, 7-ish.
Eastbound and Down, 2009. Yeah,
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was after Hot Rod, because that was his coming out party for me, because he was in Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Who am I going to go rip for now?
I mean, just that like offset of, like, you know, like NASCAR driver hillbilly character he plays.
Yeah.
He plays it so well.
I've been drinking green tea all goddamn day. You going to cast the demons out of me? Dude, I could put the fuck out of Hot Rod.
I mean, dude, and him in Pineapple Express.
Oh, yeah.
He was red, right?
Mm-hmm.
So good. So, I mean, Danny McBride has always been fire, but I feel like he can't even be writing this either, because it's not funny enough to have any Danny McBride in it.
It doesn't feel that way, at
least. And then I guess you could put David Gordon Green in that category too, because he did shit with him before, right? So, like,
he's been his partner on everything.
He has to know a joke or two.
Yeah.
You know, but like, this series is not funny.
No.
It's not Halloween. And I almost, dude, this time around watching it and watching Kills especially, I was trying to look at it as like, maybe they were like Spider-Man and 3-ing the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Where they're like, you know what? Fuck it. The series already went to shit. People are already pissed. Doesn't matter anyway.
Right.
Let's just fuck around with it. Let's just make something that's funny to us and no one else. Maybe it is that.
But it's not funny.
But there's so many other writers involved in this that I'm like, I don't think that's a thing. But maybe, was there only one other writer in this?
I think only one other guy has a credit, yeah.
Yeah, it was Scott Teems.
Because I remember I did cover this on an episode of my old show.
He did the screenplay? I'm so sick of my stutter. He did the screenplay for The Quarry, that game, remember that anthology series, like the horror one where it's like every decision, the decision-based.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember being just so shocked at how this guy that has very little other credits got a credit on this. And I was like, what is happening here? And then it repeated itself.
It was right after The Quarry, so maybe it was because The Quarry was cool.
I guess so.
Was The Quarry the one that had David Arquette in it, or was that the one after?
I can't remember.
I think it's the one after. I don't think it was this one. Until Dawn had Rami Malek in it.
Right.
That was not when I discovered he was a real person. I didn't know he was a real person when I played that. I thought he was a robot. Hidden Penteteer's in that game too. That's cool stuff. Wow. Yeah, dude. Until Dawn's awesome. That's not what we're talking about.
Supermassive game.
So Scott Teems, that's the only other guy. It was directed by David Gordon Green. 2021, if you weren't around for it. They had that little 2-year gap, or 3? Wait, was that a 3-year gap? Because the other one was 2018.
2018, because COVID.
Wait, why was I remember there being a 2-year gap. It was a 3-year gap. No wonder this movie felt so just like on its own thing. Dude.
It was supposed to come out the next year, but they delayed it a whole year because of COVID, because theaters weren't open.
How did it come out in when did the first one come out? They're always October though, right? I mean, like month-wise.
October, yeah.
So that's 3 years later.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out 2020?
It was supposed to come out 2020.
Oh, and then they delayed it a year?
Because all the
I thought it was supposed to come out 2019, and then they delayed it a year.
They were shooting in 2019.
Oh, I mixed it up.
They didn't get greenlit for the trilogy until after the first one.
Oh, you're right. Because in the beginning they were just like,
It was just one.
And that's why it was just called Halloween.
Yeah. And then after that,
and then Scream did that thing, and then everyone else did that thing. I mean, like we can go before that because Scream obviously wasn't the next one to do that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the most recent comparison. Yeah. I'm like over-explaining.
Listeners, I am prepared to correct myself because after watching this, did I realize I got a bunch of shit wrong about the timeline of this trilogy of what we were.
The microwave is solid though, right?
Microwave still stands.
That stands. That stands. That stands.
But some of the we
were the
off,
only
we were off on
we
some
are
of the
the
years,
first
and that's
horror
my fault.
podcast to talk about the microwave theory, and I'm gonna say that is set in stone. No one else is talking about the microwave theory.
There's something else that happens.
I thought you were gonna say someone else talked about it, and I was pissed.
No, there's something else that happens in this movie that actually kind of further proves our
microwave theory.
It's like it's a new data point.
Data point. We're finishing each other's sentences. Sorry, go on.
It's a new date. Nope, he's coughing. Data point. In our research that is not related to a microwave, but it is related to Michael using technology.
In this one. Using technology. When did he do that?
Just say it now.
Yeah, just say it now. That's fine. We're already just going into our feelings before we get into any part of the movie like we usually do. I mean,
you're right.
We know what the show is. If you're listening, you know what the show is at this point. If you're not, hi, I'm Caleb. This is James.
Hi.
Welcome to Horror Soup.
Yikes.
We love our listeners. We love our show. We love Tough Guy. Shout out Tough Guy. We got James right here. That's James not talking right now.
I'm James.
I'm Caleb. I'm talking right now. Tough Guy, say something so they know your voice.
I'm on screen.
That's
if you're
Tough
on
Guy.
YouTube,
If you're on YouTube, just search Horror Soup. That's Tough Guy. He's the producer. His hair isn't real.
It's real. All of it's real.
James, what do you got?
Gosh, now I can't find it, of course.
Why can't you find it, man?
I need to...
Come on, dude.
I need to, find on this page. How do I find on this page?
How about, in the meantime, Tough Guy, can you tell the story of when James caught his thumb in his car door?
Yeah, so he was
Keep looking.
closing the... No, we got to see the thumb again. He just closed his thumb in the car door. I don't think there's really a story. His thumb was in the car door. He closed the door with his other hand, and then his thumb was stuck in the car door.
I agree.
That's exactly what happened.
I would say that that's what happened. And I also agree. So yeah. James, what are you looking up? Did you find it? I'm trying to stall you, Dan.
Somewhere in my notes specifically, but Dude. I'm telling you what happens is a record gets put on. It's like a country music record, and there's no explanation except that Michael put on a record.
What house are they in?
I can't remember if it's Big John and it has to be Big John and Little John's house. It's the only time we see a record
because
player.
Big John is playing records. He said he doesn't want to watch movies on Halloween. He wants to listen to some records.
But then he kills both of them.
Yes.
And then there's country music playing whenever their bodies are found later.
And it wasn't playing before?
It wasn't playing before.
Oh, really?
Michael put on a record.
I thought it was playing before. So
Michael put on a fucking record.
He put the record on.
I swear to God, Michael put on a record.
But does that further our theory or does that fuck it up? Because
he would have had access to a record player as a kid.
You think?
100%.
Oh, you're right.
In the 60s, he would have been able to fuck around with a record player at least a little bit.
You're right. But do you think even
as a kid?
But let's think about this even further. You're a dad. You have some nice records. It's new technology, or not even newish, but not even new,
would
but
have
newish.
Some shitty ones too, though.
But
or kids records.
You're gonna
with
let
Halloween sounds.
You're gonna
on
let
them.
your snot nosed kid touch your records
in the 60s, 100%.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I think so.
They definitely beat their kids way more than people beat their kids now. And people beat their kids a lot now.
Well, did they have little kid record players? Did they have those whenever Michael was a kid?
I don't think Michael had that. You think Michael had that?
Yeah.
No, and see, now we're going too deep. Our theory was sound before because
When did those Fisher-Price record players
we
come
were
out?
being realistic about this, man.
No, I think it was more common than you think, man. I think
you
it was pretty common.
But you think Michael specifically was playing with how old did we figure out he
Yeah.
was?
Like,
he
it
was
was
like, what,
super common.
8-ish or 7-ish or something like that when he killed them?
For sure,
Or
man.
when he killed the babysitter, right?
So he wouldn't have had one of the Fisher-Price ones. They didn't come out till 71.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 7.
He's 7, dude. I don't think he knew how to do I don't think he did.
So did he put on a record then?
I think he might have, but
I think he put on a record.
But I think that makes our credit that we were giving to either the writers or to David Gordon Green
about the microwave.
it fucks it up a little bit.
God damn it!
I think it messes it up, and we kind of lost that a bit because if he knows how to put on a record, and not even just that, because you got to think of the specifics of it. He's not just playing a record. We have to assume that he's like planting that, right? Like it has to be like because he's being Jason in this movie.
Oh, he's 100% Jason in this
There's
movie.
a scene where, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it later, or right now. Maybe we don't have to say it later. What is what I'm trying to say? That fucking kid, Cameron.
Yeah.
He goes into the house with Allison, and then he sees his like dead dad up in the attic, and then Michael just runs out of a fucking closet. Like he's waiting in the closet for him. And I'm like, wait, okay, Jason Voorhees does that all the time. All the time. He'll be waiting under like, like a fucking like a hammock or something, a couple will have sex and then right when they come, he's like stab.
Yeah.
Or like he'll be hiding behind something and then he'll wait for someone to see a body and then he pops out because he always plans his kills. Michael kind of we're supposed to always assume that he's just a killer, right? He just kills shit. He sees and he kills. Like that's the thing about Michael, right?
Yeah.
I know it changes throughout all the movies. I mean, we could argue if we're going to go into the specifics of
You can say,
but for the most part, I'd say all the movies follow him just stabbing shit.
Yeah. Actually, you know what he does the most?
You know, he followed Jamie Lee Curtis to that hospital in 2, though.
Yeah.
Like, he was definitely chasing the fuck out of her. But then in this one, they're like, oh, yeah, well, he's chasing you, Jamie. And then they're like, well, actually, he's not chasing you. This doctor pissed him off at one point. How did they try to explain? That was
Okay, so
not
I
how.
think-
I know how. But I'm pissed is what I'm saying.
No, man, I actually like that part of the story. I think that's good writing.
You're right because
it's
does that
just
discount
the
the sister thing? Because remember when John
It's
Carpenter
the
was like,
young people not
it's
listening
his
to the older.
sister."
It's the older people not listening to young people
Uh-huh.
because it's fucking God. I'm blanking on her fucking name now. It's the granddaughter,
Allison?
Allison. It's Allison who knows the truth,
Allison sucks.
and she's trying to be like, "Oh no, this is what happened, guys," and she doesn't even realize that the fucking boomers have taken off with this fucking conspiracy theory to go out and hunt Michael, and she's like, "Wait, what the? That's not what's happening, guys."
Let's be fair. During this conspiracy oh my god. During this conspiracy theory, everyone is screaming, "It's not true." And they're just like, "Get him!"
Get him! I actually wrote down a quote.
This movie sucks.
I wrote down a quote because we talk so much about Michael Anthony Hall's portrayal of Tommy Doyle and how terrible it is.
There's another episode where we talk about the whole movie before we talk about the movie.
But I wrote down a specific quote because this dude says, he's talking to Lori, right? Lori stops him in the hallway and says, "It's not him." And he goes, Are you sure? He's always worn a mask. How do we know it's not him?
No, so I know what you're talking about, and he doesn't say that directly to her. They're like at the hallway, like across from each other, and I don't remember if it's Allison or Jamie Lee Curtis that mouths it to him, but they're like in the middle of the whole thing, like
He's like, how?
They're far.
How is it humanly possible
No, you're right.
to know?
I know what you're talking about, and I'm getting to that. Trust me. They're a little far from each other, and it's at the point where they could like save this guy that they think is Michael, but very obviously isn't, because there's a whole plot of this movie. They could have saved him, and then one of them mouths to him like, "It's not him," and he goes, "Huh?" And then the bad happens, and then later when he walks up to the cops, they're like, "It's not Michael." It's like one of the officers, and he's like, "What do you mean? The mask? He was wearing a mask." And they're like, "You're an idiot. You're fucking stupid. It's not him." And he's like, "Well, what do you talk? If a person wears a mask, they could be Michael." Yeah, remember like 13 movies ago, like in the beginning of this whole thing, when you see a random kid with a mask, and they're like, "Shoot him! Set him on fire!" They murder him, and then they're like, "Oh shit, I guess anyone could wear a mask."
You have to you have to really think about it though. The point that he is making is Michael Myers has always worn a mask. So how would I know what his real face looks like? Because this guy's not wearing a mask. You would know what
his body type is.
You should know his body type, but also
this guy is 150 pounds heavier than Michael Myers.
I know that maybe you didn't follow it as close as Lori did, but Lori knows what Michael looks like. She followed the case. And when they catch serial killers, they put their mugshot on the fucking TV.
100%. And there's a lot of parts of this that I tried to consider when attacking this, because I was like, okay, maybe, they've never seen him, so they just think, oh, some random guy's Michael.
Right.
If you've seen anything about this guy,
it had been 40 years.
It's been so long.
I know what Charles Manson looks like.
This guy was in a mental hospital for so long. You're telling me no one just took a picture and was like, hey, just in case anything ever happens, this is what the guy looks like right now.
We know what Ted Bundy looks like. We know what all of these fucking serial killers look like.
This guy wasn't in the mental hospital with his mask on the whole time.
Right?
The first movie in 2018, they walk up to him, they show him the mask, they're like, Michael, remember this.
And he turns into a dog.
Yeah, and then he starts going,
just like he's a dog in Halloween Ends.
Stupid. He's been a dog this whole time, man.
He's been a dog. And I will also say
we're not saying like, oh, this guy's a dog. No, I'm talking about rough. Like he's domesticated. Like he's eating kibble and wet food.
And we'll get to it, but
he's picky. Like he doesn't want, like if you don't mix the water in with the kibble and the wet food,
you gotta warm it up. And
yeah, you put a little bit of milk in it. Yeah, he's a little bitch about it, dude.
They made him be way too OCD about his mask in this one as well, and that's something we'll get to a little later. But should I go ahead and start with timeline? What else do we have? We have cast, right?
Dude, if you want to start with timeline, I'm shitting on everything immediately. I have so much to say about the beginning of the movie. My notes are prescribed. My notes are sporadic, but the beginning. All right, man. Let's talk about Hawkins.
Let's talk about Hawkins.
Will Patton. This son of a bitch. This he's that ugly guy that I was really going in on last episode.
Yeah.
Not last episode, but Halloween Ends. I just call this guy ugly a lot.
Yeah, there's something. He's got a weird mouth.
I don't like his smile. It pisses me off. Not into him. This movie was weird to me because it opens with him dying, and I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I immediately go, wait a second.
What's happening?
He's in the next one. So you're not dead. I was so happy, and then I came to terms with the fact that this isn't ends.
Right. So that's that right there. I had my fucking timeline all fucked up. Because this movie...
How did he survive? He got it looks like he got stabbed in the neck or something. He's alive?
He did get stabbed in the neck.
He did?
He did get stabbed in the neck.
That's stupid. I don't remember 2018.
It
was 3 years later, so
So this movie picks up immediately after 2018 leaves off. The same way that 2 picks up right after 1.
It's the day after, and Laurie Strode's in a hospital, but it's way more fucking stupid and boring.
Oh, for sure.
Laurie Strode wakes up, she's like, I'm gonna beat ass. Oh shit, someone nudged me. I gotta go lay down. That's her whole... We don't mention her again. If you say Laurie
she's not in the movie the rest of the Jamie Lee Curtis the rest of the time. We talk about
all during the rest of this episode, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, that's pretty much it.
Because I just gave you the beginning and the end of her arc.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, great. So then we flash back to 1978.
Remember in Ends when I said I'm over Laurie Strode and Jamie Lee Curtis? This is why. I don't give a fuck about what she does forever. Diz.
I get it.
Diz.
So
I'm wine drunk.
How do you feel about the flashback segments where we flash back to events of the 1978 Halloween that were not shown in the original movie?
I loved it.
You love that?
I loved it.
Really?
I loved every second of that.
I
I loved every second of that, beside the fact that Hawkins is the guy.
only reason we do
See,
it.
If when I first watched this, I was like, fuck yeah, this is great. This is so cool. This is probably one of the coolest things that they've ever done in any of these Halloween reboot things. I know it only been the second at that point, but it was great. Now that I've seen Ends, and I have feelings about this guy, I went, oh, so you're the piece of shit. Before I was
He's the
like,
only thing really tying us to that.
before I was like, oh, I have feelings for you. You know, like you were trying to save a kid. You were like, oh, you know, like, I don't know if we should
Right.
kill this guy. Like, it's 1978. You don't know what Michael's done yet. You don't know what events have transpired. I was
Right.
like, he's a good guy. But now I'm like, are you? You fucking asshole? No. Now
he's
that I watch this,
He's a really bad shot.
he's a bad
Give
shot.
him that.
Killed his partner. Shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done that.
Not great. He looked pretty sad about it. By the way, 38% by critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Bad shot. I'd give it 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics. Yeah. This guy sucks. But the
But the flashbacks.
flashback was really cool. They brought Loomis back.
Loomis looks amazing.
This is how you do CGI.
Loomis looks amazing.
So cool. He sounded great.
Yep.
Looked great.
So believable.
One of the coolest things ever.
Yeah.
Loved all of that. Not long after this movie falls off. But we got a little while, I guess, right? That kid, though, because you know you
Lonnie, as a kid?
you have young Hawkins.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is?
No.
That is the main character of Project X.
Really?
That's the,
Young Hawkins?
young Hawkins is the main kid in Project X.
Interesting.
His name is, I wrote it down somewhere right here. Thomas Mann. His name is
Thomas
Tom, and his name is
Mann.
Thomas in Project X. And he's done
Wow.
other shit. I thought all of them kind of fell off, and they hadn't done much since. And I would have never noticed this, and it put this scene into a completely different perspective for me.
Yeah.
Because once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. I was like, "Holy shit, that's
gotta
the
be
guy."
tough.
I mean, his hair is just longer now, but I'm like, "Holy shit, you don't have as many pimples anymore." But like, that's it. Like, that's that kid.
Yeah, I don't really know that movie very well.
I've seen Project X so many times, an insane amount of times.
Doesn't surprise me.
Love it. Defining movie for me, honestly, because I was like, "Oh, if you break a garden gnome, there will be ecstasy in it." That's a great movie.
Yeah, that's the rules actually.
Rules and tales to live by. That being that kid put this movie at 5 stars. Great movie. They got the Project X kid
To be a 70s cop.
and to confront Michael Myers in 1978. That's good. That's good.
So we also get a good long look at Lonnie in 1978 because he needs to have this face-to-face interaction with Michael for some reason.
Who was Lonnie?
So Lonnie is Cameron's dad.
Yeah, yes.
He's also
Was he a cop?
no, he's the kid.
What?
He's the kid.
So we're doing.
And hang on.
Tommy's the
Hang
older
on.
kid, and this guy's the younger. He's also the younger kid.
But Lonnie
Wait.
is also the kid in the original movie who is bullying Tommy.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you fucking kidding me? You
No.
had to bring both of them back?
Yeah. So Lonnie is the kid who's like, boogeyman, boogeyman. Lonnie's one of those kids. And then we see him getting bullied later by these other kids called the Mulaney's.
I don't know, man.
It's too tight, right?
It's too much.
It's too incestuous.
The Tommy Doyle thing, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I get that. Like, he's been pretty relevant throughout the series. We could talk about
But
Tommy.
then
bring him
Tommy's
back.
bully from when he was a kid
Come
is
on,
grown
man.
up and now they're like buddies. Fuck, they buried the hatchet because they both hate Michael Myers.
You know how the rule of horror movies is that the bully is still a dick when you're older.
The bully's always a dick. How did Lonnie get turned into a good guy?
You're not cool with him now, and he's not like this gentle guy who's like, oh yeah, we feel bad for him. Nah,
Lonnie's such like a soft-spoken hippie, but he was a bully in the first movie.
Remember the bullies in It?
Yeah, I do.
Biggest pieces of shit in the world years later. That's how it has to be.
That's different, man. 1940s bullies, they'll like literally kill a kid.
Yeah. And carve you up, man.
That like stand by me bullies.
They'll fucking carve you up and do you real good.
Will,
dude,
man. It's a different level.
Yeah, man. What I'm saying is fuck Hawkins.
Fuck.
But you want to hear another deep cut?
Yeah.
Young Hawkins. He's also in Amityville Awakening.
Stop it. He's in an Amityville?
Amityville Awakening, which is the Bella Thorne Amityville. And when I went deeper into that, there's a lot of people in it. I don't even want to get into all of it right now because I need to leave a little bit of pizzazz for that episode later. There are so many notable actors in Amityville Awakening. It's kind of...
All right.
Let me just give you one right now. Red Foreman.
Okay.
There are so many people in it.
How far away is this? I'm really excited.
I think it's under 20.
Oh my God.
But I think it might also be under 10.
Shut the fuck up.
It might be under 10.
Even 10 is too many.
That's not too many. Dude, we're still on like 14 right now.
All right, so we saw the whole thing where they arrest Michael, and then after that we cut back to Mick's bar with Tommy, Lonnie, Lindsay,
this is when we
and
get
Marion.
introduced to like our reintroduction of Tommy Doyle. I mean,
yeah.
we've already given you enough that you're like, yeah, Tommy Doyle's in the movie.
Right.
Nope. Not in the time. Not if we're like going by like what
he hasn't showed up yet.
No. If we're going by like play by play, Tommy Doyle's just showing up. We just have a lot of feelings about him. But
yeah.
Tommy Doyle's here and he's like, oh, I'm drinking 1 beer on the shelf, 2 beers I'm drunk and I'm drinking by myself, but I got friends all of Haddonfield right next to me is me and him and we're gonna pee.
Can we shout out the bartender though? Because that guy's fucking awesome.
I don't remember anything he did.
Dude, he's amazing. So like Lonnie and Tommy and them, I guess they're being somewhat loud and they like disturb the nurse and doctor couple that we saw in Halloween 2018 leave for a party or whatever. And
they were in 2018.
Yeah.
This was so long after that I don't remember what happened in 2018.
I know. We see them just for a second. We see them leave their house and they like almost like back into Michael or something. Like he's like walking past their car or something.
See,
like,
when they bring that funny kid back, the one that had like the babysitter, when they bring him back, I'm like, oh, I remember you because you were like fighting Michael.
Memorable.
You were doing all these things. You were saying funny shit the whole time. So like when he popped up, I was like, yeah, of course. And then when they pop up, I'm like, all right, well.
You see a flash of them in 2018.
I like briefly saw you. I would have never remembered that if you didn't mention that right now.
Yeah. So they're like bugging them, I guess. And then the guy goes to the bartender to get a drink, and the bartender, it's just amazing. If Anthony Michael Hall is the most miscast member of this movie.
We didn't even go deep enough into that. So don't hold that thought. I'm holding that thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm saying that to me. This
guy might have been the best cast. This guy's
I don't
amazing.
remember him.
He's sitting there. And they come up to get a drink. And first of all, I didn't even think that like Lonnie and his crew were being that disruptive. You're at a bar on Halloween. Grow the fuck up. But also, he goes over there and the bartender goes, oh, don't you worry about them motherfuckers over there. They're all here because they're friends with that Laurie Strode lady. But the way he's like, don't let them motherfuckers bother you.
Does he say it like that?
He says motherfuckers. He calls them motherfuckers.
Oh, wow.
And then he's the one who has, I already forget the name of it, but the bat behind the fucking bar. And he's like, oh yeah, that's old Hickory.
That's like the
this guy's awesome.
Yeah, that's like the in case of like the ICM bat in case of Michael. You know, like because that's what it is, right?
That's what it is.
What else is that bat there for? They look at it, they're like, well, we got to get the Michael bat because they think a bat is gonna like do something against him.
Oh my god,
so ridiculous.
Oh, here's the thing.
No, I'm sorry, I had a thought held.
You do. I like Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, we kind of talked about Halloween Kills like with Bri and Migs.
Yeah.
A long time ago, like as a Patreon thing, but it was
Right.
like a no notes thing. This almost feels like the same thing because this is the exact same thing we did. We just went into talking shit.
Yeah.
And that's why we didn't write notes, because we were like, we have thoughts. We don't need to write this down. Now we're trying to we just tried to go a little farther with it this time, basically.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. But I think me and you said the same thing before. We're like, Anthony Michael Hall is usually cool.
I've seen him in other shit. I
This
think he's
role
good.
made me question whether or not I like him.
He's not good in this role.
And
I've seen him in
thought he
comedy
looked,
roles, and I like him.
He looks like Megamind.
He looks ridiculous in this movie, man.
I don't know if his head is always this off. I feel like it hasn't been that bad before. Maybe people get the better angles. There's one shot in the bar where I swear to God, his lips aren't even in the shot. It's just like his nose and his forehead. And it's the worst shot I've ever seen. I feel like they just didn't know how to cut around it. They were like, well, we got to show him. And the guy was drunk when they shot this, so we only have a forehead shot. Because I swear to God, it's just Megamind for days.
He is Megamind.
The animated movie Megamind. Is that Pixar?
No, it's DreamWorks.
That was DreamWorks.
Yeah.
You know what, man? DreamWorks makes cool, big-headed alien movies.
Dude, DreamWorks isn't that bad. I know that like they kind of get
Did they
the
do
rap.
Madagascar?
Yeah.
DreamWorks is pretty cool, man.
They did Shrek.
They did Shrek. Oh, yeah, you're right, dude. Kung Fu Panda.
Come on, man.
Kung Fu Panda. Shark Tale. Dude, Shark Tale.
Shark Tale
Flushed
goes hard.
away. B-movie. They did Chicken Run.
Yeah.
No, Cat in the Hat. DreamWorks goes so crazy. Wait, go back. Was that who are the claymation dog in person?
Oh, Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit. Did they do that? Did
I don't
just see
think
that?
they like make that. I think that actually is a
That's
British
like a
production.
reboot of it. Like they probably got the rights to it or
yeah,
something.
maybe they like distributed it.
Because that's a very old thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, DreamWorks is sick.
DreamWorks is low key pretty great.
DreamWorks is pretty awesome. I'm not mad at it. Dude, they did Boss Baby.
I was gonna say they have some misses.
Captain Underpants. No, Boss Baby's fire, dude.
No, fuck Boss Baby.
Dude,
fuck Alec Baldwin.
he's a boss and a baby. I'm gonna be honest. I've never watched Boss Baby. I just always think it's hilarious because I'm like, dude, that's a CEO baby.
No joke. I literally had to tell my kid that he couldn't watch Boss Baby because
You told me about
it
that?
made him an asshole.
I remember I like matched with this one chick on like Tinder or something, and we were like, let's go to the movies or something, you know, first date. And we were looking at what was around, and I think it was just shit in the theaters, but Boss Baby was there, so we were like, guess we'll see Boss Baby. It didn't end up happening, but it was just like a joke after that. I was like, oh, dude, Boss Baby, you know?
No, it turned my kid into a dick. I hate Boss
Wait,
Baby.
DreamWorks did Ants with a Z?
Yeah. Good old ants. That's
DreamWorks is the best.
That's like one of their first things.
Was that
I
literally
think
their
it
first?
is their. I
first
think
thing.
it is their first thing.
Was that
This looks
legitimately
like
their
it's
first?
It looks like it.
Shrek
Shrek was their fifth.
Shrek was their first.
But that
huge
would make
hit.
sense though,
Yeah.
right? Like
Chicken Run
Ants
was
set it off. Ants had to have made money, right? Did Ants make money?
Wasn't it a ripoff of Bugs Life?
Kind of.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that
for
the-
sure. But dude,
okay.
Ants was fire. Like Bugs Life was fire, but Ants was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ants was like hood Bugs Life. Dude, it
I
was.
felt that.
It
I felt that.
was,
Yeah,
right?
no,
What
for
is-
sure.
What
for
is?
sure.
What?
I feel like I feel like it's more like
100%.
adults would enjoy Ants more than Bugs Life.
Yeah.
Hang on. Well, didn't ants have Woody Allen?
Oh,
For real?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, that sucks. Like, you know, let's not discredit Ants as a whole.
Because that was their thing. Let's take filmmaker comedian people and turn them into bugs because that was B movie.
Wait, like it said Woody Allen. That's the
Yeah.
first thing. And
Woody
Sharon
Allen,
Stone?
Stone, yeah.
What? Okay, wait. So he was the main ant,
He's the main guy.
dude. He's
Z.
the main ant,
Yep.
and Gene Hackman, Sylvester Stallone, Dan Aykroyd. Okay, wait. This
That goes crazy, man.
Danny Glover,
Danny Glover's in that.
Christopher Walken was a fucking ant. This is crazy.
That's
Jennifer Lopez
that's
was
an
an ant.
insane cast.
John
list.
Mahoney.
All right, cancel everything you've heard next month
dude.
or next week. We're watching Ants.
No, dude,
Dan
I'm
Aykroyd
sorry.
too, man.
This is another thing that was like cursed
Yeah.
for no reason. Like, remember how the cells,
Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis Jones, it got fucked.
Yep.
And it shouldn't have been fucked. Ants got fucked probably because of Woody Allen's dumbass.
And because of A Bug's Life.
And because of Bug's Life, but dude, Ants was cooler. It was just way cooler.
The animation's honestly cooler than A Bug's Life.
All of it, dude. I mean, like, man. Sylvester Stallone, Christopher Walken, come on, man. You get him in the same room to be ants?
All right.
Let's talk about the movie. I don't give a shit about it.
We're at the firefighter scene. What do we think about
Ants
this?
Is so awesome. Awesome? Awesome possum.
I think the firefighter scene's cool.
Where he fucks up the firefighters. This is where I'm still into the movie. I'm into kills for the first 40 minutes.
Like, I think this is cool.
My experience watching Kills was the same as Ends, but very different. I got the first 40 minutes into Ends, and I turned it off because I was pissed. I got the first 40 minutes into Kills. I had to leave because I was hanging out with some friends, and we were hanging out, like, for way too long. And then we're like, oh, let's toss Halloween on. And I was like, dude, I gotta fucking go. But, like, I got, like, 40 minutes in, and I was having the best time. I was like, holy shit. They brought Halloween back.
Right.
Like, they brought it back full force. I'm into this movie. I like the Loomis shit. I like the going back to 78.
Mm-hmm.
This all looks awesome. Like, because in 78, when they brought it back to that, Michael is moving like 78 Michael. He's popping up. He's walking.
For sure, but some of those parts were Nick Castle, too. Some of the... And actually, I think there's a third actor...
Yeah, do you think all the 78 stuff was Nick Castle?
Not all of it, because that guy right there, Ryan Armstrong, is credited as the Shape 1978.
So we had three shapes in this one.
So we had 3 shapes in this one.
Because obviously we have Jude Courtney. What's his name?
Yep. James Jude Courtney.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought James was wrong. Maybe it's just because you're James next to me. So I was like, that's not right. I'm thinking of this guy. So we had 3 shapes. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. And Nick Castle might not even be credited, but that I do remember that being a thing in 2018, and I think in this one as well that he did some of the.
I remember
some of the
Nick.
shots.
I remember that was like the thing that I first heard about 2018. They were like, "Oh, Nick Castle is in it." At first, I thought Nick Castle was doing everything.
Was doing the whole thing
because I think they kind of advertised it as that at first.
Kind of felt like that at first,
or at least it felt like it. At least I don't know if that was just like what we were hearing third party or what was going on.
Yeah, I was on that wavelength too, though.
I thought it was just Nick Castle, and then it was like, oh, it's a different guy.
Yeah.
And he only did like one scene in 2018, if I remember. The window. Dude, he did the window.
Oh, he did the window.
That's what it was. The window that they're focusing on this whole movie that he's standing in. What if it's just Nick Castle standing in the window in this one?
It might be. That might be the only shot that's
I don't know for sure if that's the thing. I'm just talking out of my ass right now.
Right.
But I'm pretty positive, like probably 99% sure that he was just in the window scene in 2018.
Yeah. So I will say I watched the extended cut. And I also found
You said that was on Peacock? Because I watched this on HBO Max. I don't think I saw the
remember where I
extended.
watched it. It might have been on Vudu, even. I can't remember where I watched it.
Dude, is this on Vudu now for free with ads?
No, I think I paid for it.
Oh, you bought it?
I think so.
Ooh.
I can't remember.
I didn't pay for it.
Would
not do that.
Would not do that. But I also found like a website that does like extended cuts and regular cuts and, puts them side by side so that you can see what the differences are. And a lot of the differences were in kill scenes, including this one. So there's even more just brutality in the extended cut and just more stuff.
There was already so many kills and a lot of my complaint about this movie is never the kills.
It's not.
Never was to begin with. There's a lot of kills. They're brutal.
The movie's called Halloween
awesome.
Kills.
And they kill.
They kill.
But that was always my complaint about it. It was like, all right, all you're doing is killing.
That's pretty much it.
And I want to see that in a lot of movies. Halloween, I want a little more, though. Just a little different,
They're not necessarily spread out
Maybe I'm
the
a
best.
dick.
They're not necessarily spread out the best.
No. Go on. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, that's pretty much it. There's just a few things here and there where they cut to black in the film cut versus the extended cut. So after that, we are in your favorite place, which is the hospital.
The ass. Wait, what?
After that, we're back at the hospital.
Which in Halloween 2 is my favorite thing. I feel like a lot of people hate on Halloween 2 at a time. And not really hated on it, but didn't give it its flowers, really.
I give it so much more credit now than I used to.
Not even now. Halloween 2 has probably always been my favorite Halloween. When I was growing up, I liked Halloween 2 way more than 1.
Really?
My memories, and I don't know if it's a Kill Bill thing, Is it Kill Bill Part 2 where she wakes up in the hospital, or is it still a part of Part 1? I can't remember exactly the timeline right now. I kind of put them together because
it's one movie.
I don't think I've ever watched Kill Bill separately.
Yeah.
Like anytime I've ever put it on, even like no matter how tired I am, I stay up and I watch the second one after because I'm like, no, I got to finish it. And it's not one of those things that I can finish later, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a Kill Bill thing because I've always been really in love with that movie. But hospital shit, you know, like when you're waking up in a because I put Kill Bill and Halloween 2 in the same spot where it's like you're waking up, some crazy shit is happening. And I know you could like anyone could toss out any other movie. So many other movies, especially like 90s and previous, you know?
Sure.
But Halloween 2 and Kill Bill for me, top 2 Halloween or hospital things in all time. I think nowadays I'd probably put like Planet Terror up there too. But like when I was growing up, those two.
There's a deleted scene right here that I think you would have loved. There's a deleted scene that plays in the extended cut where Karen goes into the morgue and there's this like mortician guy standing there like working on a body of a very large, unattractive man.
Love that.
With his dick hanging out and everything.
Oh, there's a dick?
There's a dick.
They didn't put the dick in the regular
cut out
cut?
the dick, man. But
I'm always saying, you put a dick into a horror movie, it makes it better, whether it's a good dick, bad dick, funny dick, weird dick, short dick, big dick.
Dude, it makes it better.
You put a dick in, it's funny.
Yeah, Karen goes
I'll
in there.
laugh.
She goes in there just for a second, and she's looking for her husband who
And she
just
finds a dick.
died. She doesn't find him, though. She just, because it's just a random-ass morgue. Like, why would your husband be here now? Do you have a general idea that Michael killed a lot of people tonight? And you
That's
just
true.
waltz into the morgue saying, "Where's my husband?"
Where is he?
You don't even know if they found his body yet, really. Like,
No, that is insane. You're 100% right.
so I guess that's why they cut it out. But anyway, she just walks in there.
Oh, because it was just a stupid plot point. It was like, oh,
Because
well,
it made
that was
no
dumb.
sense.
But really, they should have kept it in because everything she does in this movie is dumb.
That's
Judy
true.
Greer?
Judy Greer, yeah.
She's Karen.
Yeah.
Why'd they name her Karen? Come on.
You were asking for that one.
Go on, I'm sorry.
She just walks in there, and then the mortician goes, "You can't be here."
Does he say it like that? You got to tell me a little more about these extended cut scenes because that's definitely something we didn't talk about before, and I don't know anything about these.
I have notes every time they pop up. This is probably the biggest one. This is when I recognized that I wasn't watching the theatrical cut. Because I was like, I would have remembered this naked guy laying in the morgue.
Probably. Well, yeah, because once you said that, I was like, I saw nothing similar to that.
Yeah, and he's just like the harbinger of doom, like in any fucking horror movie where you stop at the gas station, you know? He's like the old guy. You can't be here.
Yeah, he's the old guy in Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Damn, I always remember his name. I'm usually the guy that remembers his name, man. I can't remember his name right now.
It's so good. It's so
that
good.
Sucks.
It fucking cracks me up.
That's good stuff, man. Okay, so where are we at timeline-wise now? We just
the next thing we have is Laurie's neighbors.
I've been holding this Paul Rudd thing for so long.
Okay, yeah.
So long. You got Michael Anthony Hall. You got Tommy Doyle. Tommy Doyle in the past, 5 or 6. I don't remember. 6, maybe?
Sure.
Curse? I don't know. Represented by Paul Rudd. You know Paul Rudd. You've seen him. You know him. Ant-Man, among other things. You probably know, everyone fucking knows Ant-Man now. It's goddamn Marvel. You know him. You know what Paul Rudd looks like is what I'm saying. The whole fucking world does. You can't put Paul Rudd into a movie, I don't care how long ago it was, and then just be like, you know, we're going to replace him with Megamind.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't. I'm supposed to believe he fucking grew up
No.
to be... Paul Rudd grew up to be Anthony Michael Hall?
I know.
I'm supposed to believe that.
I know.
I'm supposed to sit here as an audience member and go, oh yeah, fucking Paul Rudd and fucking... We did the math of this before.
It's real time.
It's no longer than 20 years.
It's real
Or
time.
it's only slightly longer than 20. Even if it's 40 years later, You're telling me Paul Rudd turned into Anthony Michael Hall?
Well, no.
Wait, hold on. You know when that movie came out with Paul Rudd, and you put it to now, Paul Rudd looks the same.
And I think that's why they didn't cast him.
He looks the fucking same. They couldn't get
Because
him.
they're trying to say, oh, he looks too good. We got to get someone who looks older.
He has to look like worn and torn.
Right.
Because he's so fucking pissed about Michael.
Yeah, I think that from what I saw, the only reason they didn't get Paul Rudd was because it conflicted with some Marvel shit he was doing. That's all that I could see.
Is that why? Because I almost feel like it was a choice because they're like...
It has to be a choice.
Because they're ignoring the rest of the sequels, right? So they're like, oh, no Paul Rudd. But at this point...
and that's the thing. Yes.
Just
what
Paul
is that?
Rudd.
Resurrection? Right? Or no, Curse.
No,
Sorry.
I think it was Curse.
Curse,
It was either Curse or the one before Curse, which was... Curse was 6.
Yeah. 5 or 6. Whichever one he's
I think
in.
it was 6.
I think it's 6 too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're saying that one is non-canon at this point. But it still makes way more sense to try to bring him back or an actor of his age for that character to have aged properly. Why did Tommy Doyle age like shit?
But what's crazy is that I think technically Anthony Michael Hall might be around that same age-ish.
Why did Tommy Doyle grow up to look like Anthony Michael Hall, but Laurie Strode grew up to look like Laurie Strode?
I hate giving Family Guy credit, but remember when Family Guy was like, oh, why do you have Bob Saget voicing Ted on How I Met Your Mother when Ted is a full-grown man already? Like, he's not going to grow into his voice. I've thought about that every day for the rest of my life.
That's true.
And as much as Family Guy pisses me off, I'm like, you're right.
That's true.
Because why? And that's how I feel about this right now.
It's like they felt like it would make him look more distinguished if he was older.
And I'm not following that.
I'm not vibing with it.
No.
That's for sure.
Mm-mm.
Tommy sucks in this movie.
But it's better than Ends?
But this movie is better than Ends. You're right.
Okay, so I guess we should probably move on. He kills the firefighters. We already talked about all that. I guess briefly. We don't need to get into it.
The next thing that Michael does...
We thought it was cool. No, I want to talk about...
You got something?
Yeah, we go over to the old lady...
The
old lady's house. Yeah, the neighbor.
Yeah.
Because she is also an Ends. We talked about her. You know, she came back. Her voice box is all fucked up. She can't talk anymore. And they're like, oh, look at what you did, Lori. You're a bitch.
Yeah.
Because you made her not be able to talk. No, Michael did that, actually. I don't think Lori did much, if we're being completely honest. But also,
it's Lori's fault. She's your neighbor. You don't even know her name.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know my neighbor's name either.
Not everyone talks to their neighbors.
And I live closer than they did.
Yeah.
I technically have 2 houses right now. I don't know any of my neighbors' names.
Yeah.
Not a single one.
And you know what? I actually know my neighbor's name, so I can't talk right now. And I also was hanging out with someone not too long ago, and they were like, you're more friendly than I'm used to. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll just be, I'm domesticated, man. Just be talking to my neighbors. I'm like, hey, how's it going? My neighbors also just got a puppy not too long ago, so, I gotta hang out with the puppy.
Nah, fuck neighbors.
Dude, they have a puppy. What are you talking about? But anyway, they're at this old lady's house, and I don't have to say a lot about this, but my grandma would be this old lady in this situation, because at one point, the grandpa's like walking back, and he's like, dude, there's someone in the back. Like, it's fucked up. There's a problem. And you could tell, like, he's in attack mode and also, like, defense mode.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to do something. And she's like, well, who is it? Why are they in the backyard? And I'm like, yeah, that's what my grandma would be doing. She'd be like, well, did you try to tell them to go away?
Did you tell them we don't want to talk about their Lord and Savior?
But, like, she'd be screaming about it. She'd be pissed, but she'd be like, well, get out of here. And I'd be like, oh, you don't get it. They're going to murder you. I remember my grandma pulling up to people who were just like random strangers who were like fighting and like doing like some crazy shit like on the street while we're just driving by when I'm like in high school. And she stops next to them and pulls on the window. She's like, you damn kids. Like, I'm gonna this, that. I was like,
the fuck are you doing?
You don't understand that we live in a bad area and these people are going to kill us. You need to drive away right now and not talk to them. Like, you don't try to break this up. You have no place in this.
See, I had a very opposite upbringing.
Yeah, no, that was mine.
My female caregiver was absolutely terrified of everything. to the point where, yeah, she was a little bit racist. I remember us like being in a car and like her looking over, and I would, like it's the 90s. So like you see like guys with like, like wallet chains and like baggy pants and like
they're Limp Bizkit like
they're
clones,
in like
basically.
They're in like a lowrider or some shit. And like,
okay, that changes things.
And the music's bumping, and I'm looking over as a kid, and I'm like, that's fucking cool. And Mom was like, don't look at them, they'll shoot us.
See, no, mine was different because like I had experienced that. I mean, there's definitely moments when my
I remember being like, Mom, I don't think they're gonna shoot us. I think they're just cool.
No, see, there's two different sides. There's moments when my grandma would just do some racist ass shit, and I'm like, whoa, like, like I feel like a lot of people just have those experiences where like you're growing up with like parents or grandparents or something, and they're just like, oh yeah, you got like a Fox News parents or something that,
Right.
And they're like, oh, this, that. And you're like, what the fuck? Like that's brutal. You gotta like bring that back. But you're young and they're gonna beat your ass if you say anything about it. So you're like, oh shit. Don't do that. And they're like, but there's also times where my grandma just did not know her place and didn't realize that like there's actual gang wars going on that you're trying to break up right now.
Man.
And
I got mad respect for Grandma.
I don't. I was in the passenger seat. I couldn't drive. She was putting me in terrible situations. I knew the people, and I was like, I'm going to pull up to school the next day, and they're going to be like, oh, so your grandma is fucking doing that? And I'm like, no, I don't know her. I wasn't there.
I don't know her.
I don't want to be in a situation where I say I don't know my grandma, but like, hey, I don't want to die.
Okay, speaking of grandmas,
way.
Do we have anything else to say about these neighbors?
Yes, my grandma would have been looking right out the window with binoculars, and she would have been like, why is he in my backyard? But then she would have tried to hit Michael with a fly swatter when he came in the house, or like with her chancla or something. And, like, I don't want to say it, but she would have ended up just like this lady.
Oh shit! At least we know this lady survives.
She survived,
but we're not
like,
led to believe that, right? This
is
is such a shitty thing where they do the thing where it's like, we technically didn't
No,
show her
you want
die
another thing?
because she was still breathing whenever we cut the camera.
Dude, she had a fucked up scene because her husband also. There's a lot of things where Michael destroys people with no hesitation in this movie.
He just destroys them.
And then later destroys them, but they're alive for way too long. And ends, he's going to get slapped by a teenager and just fall over. That's a whole nother tale. But they kind of set it up in this one, I guess, in a weird way where they're just like, oh, he's a little wonky. We've never had Michael a little wonky. In this one, he was a little silly.
A little bit.
He was kind of just like, he was like Mr. Magoo if Mr. Magoo fell. More often, like if Mr. Magoo actually fucked up.
Yeah.
He's doing wonky things, but he's like, oh, where'd I fell.
Oh, but we made it. But we're here.
My
We're
shoelace.
doing
I
it,
tripped on my shoelace.
But we also killed the guy.
Whoa, the knife. So like,
why does he go so ham on that drone?
You're talking about the drone?
The drone, the little drone that she's flying in the house.
I don't remember the drone, but I do remember.
That's how they find Michael.
But the grandpa, you're gonna have to explain that to me in a second. The grandpa, though, remember when he walks back and forth?
Shit.
There's a knife block.
Yeah.
He's grabbing them and just sticking them in this guy.
Yeah.
Again, this is when I was here for the movie.
This is what this movie does, where it lets you spend time with Michael in an uncomfortable amount of time.
Because in the early, and this is what we talked about a lot in the other conversation, because in the earlier ones, you don't get that as much. You get Michael every so often, which is something you don't realize when you're watching it in the earlier ones, really.
Yeah, like we just get to hang out and see what Michael does when he's not in the middle of a kill scene.
Microwave.
Puts on records.
He's just chilling, dude.
He's really just trying to have a chill night.
It'd be like if
everybody keeps getting in the way.
I feel like people just think that we watch horror movies all day, but like if they saw what was actually going on, it's like, nah, I'm like playing pool and watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I'm drinking beer.
That's all that Michael really wants to do.
He just wants to chill
in this movie. and everybody just keeps getting in his way. When he goes to that house, he doesn't kill them until after they fly a drone at him, and then he like crushes the drone and throws it back out in the hallway.
Now I remember that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, he was provoked. They threw a drone at his face.
The only other thing
I mean, yes, he was in their house, but
if I was there, my grandma would have been fine. You don't know how many times I've walked up next to her where she's basically, like, if she had binoculars, she'd be using them.
Yeah.
But she'll just be looking out the window, and I'm like, what are you doing? She goes...
She would have seen him coming.
Well, she goes, neighbors over there, they're walking inside and outside of their front door, and I think they're moving a couch. I don't know what they got going on. Maybe drugs. And I'm like, wait a second. So you think they're smuggling drugs through the couch and they're moving it inside and outside? I'm like, you don't know how drug dealers work, because really, that's a lot of work.
That's
you know,
a lot.
You know how
of
many
work.
other things they have going on? You think they want to move a couch inside and outside every time they have a new shipment? Dude, she's all out of whack. But
no,
she thinks she's doing so much. Like, she thinks she's the neighborhood watch.
I love that character in a neighborhood, and every neighborhood has
okay,
one.
but here's the thing. If you're a neighbor, you hate that character.
Oh, no. So I lived across the street from one. We always called her Crazy Mary. And
do you know what it's like to be the person that's just next to that character?
Live in that house.
You're like, I'm not this character, but I see what this character's doing. I'm telling them to stop, but they keep doing it.
We had this lady, Crazy Mary, live across the street, and I swear to God,
she would call people Crazy Mary or something like that. She'd be like, this bitch across the street, she's looking outside all the time out on her balcony. I'm like, that's what you're doing on, but you're ground level. You're just down here, but you're saying that them up there is the problem.
Dude, when I moved into that house, Crazy
Son of
Mary
a
came
bitch.
across the street one time, knocked on the door, middle of the day, said, hey, I really noticed last night that when it's dark outside and the lights are on in your house, like, people can really see in there. So, like, you might
So,
want to
like, I'm watching,
you
but,
might
like,
want to
other
get
people
some
shouldn't
better
watch.
curtains. That's what, right? I'm like, so
And
what
what
you're
did you-
saying is I need to get curtains so that you stop peeping at me? That's
Is
what
it
you're
just
telling me?
I always want to be that person that's like, oh, you're an asshole. But I'm usually just like, oh, okay, yeah, you're probably right.
I never say shit to
and then,
people
like, later,
that.
I'm like, I should have been like, you're a bitch.
I know.
I can show my dick if I want through my windows.
Dude, you want to know the God honest truth? I had to come up with a
You want to know the God honest truth? I don't know how a neighbor hasn't complained to me, because I have so many open window concepts in my house, and I don't close them. At a time I did, and I was like, but I like the sunlight. And, like,
right.
I'd be walking around doing whatever I want.
For sure. That's how I feel.
You know what I mean? My neighbors don't look in.
That's
Maybe.
completely
That's
how
good.
I feel.
So that's good.
But yeah, dude, that happens to me all the time. I never know what to say, and then I am always constantly replaying the conversation. I had to come up with a releasing exercise
To get over the anger that you felt?
just to stop thinking about it. And, like, to stop dwelling on it, like, yeah, well, I could have said this, and that would have been really fucking funny. And, oh, shit, what if I said this? And I could have said this. I have to write the shit down and burn it.
You know what I do now? I used to be, like, really extra about it, and now I'm just like, damn, I was dumb. And then I just move on. I'm like, that was stupid. Like, I could have been cooler, and then I'm like, I'm not cool. And then I just go on with my life.
No, man, I write it down on a piece of paper and I set it on fire.
Nah, I just realized that I'm a bitch. What am I gonna do about it?
Okay, so where are we?
What am I gonna do about it?
Back at the bar.
Oh no, Evil dies tonight. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay, we're going to there.
I realized that 35 minutes in the movie they say Evil dies tonight. I would have never noticed that the first time, because it doesn't matter the first few times they say it until you realize that that's all they're gonna say for the rest of the movie. 35 minutes in, I think that was the first Evil dies tonight.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things I feel the need to address. The radio tower from Ends is very, very prominently shown in this movie. Remember how the radio tower is a big thing and ends? They end up setting it on fire.
No, again, I'm thinking about Jason Voorhees and like, the Friday the 13th, the game.
Yeah,
We have to go to the radio tower.
Right. No, the radio station has that big radio tower. They end up setting it on fire and ends.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, Corey does. Yep, you got
Corey
it.
Feldman in Friday the 13th, the game. But when Corey Feldman is older, he doesn't look like Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
It's similar to Halloween, if you really want to get into all that.
That's true.
See, so they're just going off of the classics. If you,
So you can see that radio tower, and also you hear in the car whenever not Michael Myers is in those people's car, and that's whenever Tommy comes out and he's like, "We gotta fucking get him! He's in the car!" You hear the WURG radio station from ends.
okay, so I'm on a different side of that because that is the next thing I want to talk about. But I want to talk about the fact that that nurse chick from 2018, she runs out to her car. Actually, both her and her husband are going out, but he's like, "Oh, I lost my stethoscope." So he has to run. He's like, "I think that chick has it," which really it's just average bar shit. Like, "Oh, this chick was holding it. She's fucking drunk." And she's like, "Oh, let me see your stethoscope."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I gotta go get it back from her." And he's like an actual doctor, so I think that was his real stethoscope. I think that's the only reason why he cared.
Well, the joke is that she's a doctor and he's a nurse.
Oh, so they swapped it. So it's probably hers. Right?
It is his
Or
because
is his-
that's why he has to go back for it. Because he's like, Dr. So-and-so is going to rip me a new one if I don't bring this back
Did he
in."
say that?
I think so, yeah.
I was in and out, so I'm glad he said that because
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The one thing the one thing I'll say about this film gives answers
to
for
every little
everything.
thing. They back it up.
Even if they're stupid answers.
Ends does
it
not
does
back it up.
answer everything.
In a world where ends backs up nothing,
Right.
rewatching Kills, it's like it might have been dumb, but you did give an explanation for it.
It did. You explained it.
Okay. So this guy is like, "Okay, let me go in real quick." You go outside, which they're both leaving because they're like, "Hey, there's a murderer out here. He's right next to our house. Let's go check on our house." So yeah, they're going to check on our house, but like if there's a murderer outside, that's the moment where you don't leave your significant other.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to leave you." So she goes out to the car. This is the most ridiculous thing in the world because I just want to put myself in her headspace, and I'm going to explain this just like as if I was her for a second.
Okay.
I go out to my car. I go to start it.
Yep.
All of a sudden, there's someone in the back of my car. I think it's Michael. Why?
Mhm.
Why would I ever think it's Michael? I'm questioning her now. I'm out of her headspace.
Okay.
I left it so fast.
This is also explained.
Why would I ever think? No, it's not. You're
is.
going to say that it's because
You
it's
hate
on
it.
the TV right before it.
It's on
They
the TV right
don't
before
know who Michael is. They don't see him exactly. So she's like, "Oh, it's Michael."
And the police aren't putting the names with the photos. So
They're
they're showing a photo of that guy and they're showing a photo of Michael Myers and saying these are the two people who escaped.
Oh, because they did show him at one point.
They put both of them on screen.
Oh, okay, you're right.
They say these are the two people that
okay.
escaped, but for privacy, we're not giving out their names. But the real reason they're not giving out their names is because one of them is Michael Myers, and they don't want everyone to freak out.
You know what? It was a 4-star movie. No, don't give me that. No, I'm not doing that.
It's not a
Wait,
4-star movie.
It's not. No, but I actually might give it a little more credit than due because I feel like I remember them doing something of the sort, but I don't remember them saying that. The way that you explained it right now kind of brought me back a little bit.
It's very contextual and it's not spelled out for you, but I swear to God, if you actually pay attention,
I remember them doing the
to,
TV
like, the
thing,
news-
and I remember
the
the
news
I remember
broadcast.
the conversation before and after.
Yep.
Where they're like, "Hey, we have to leave," and they're
Yep.
like, "Hey, this was the guy, we saw him on TV, and we're freaking out." Blah blah blah. I don't remember them not assigning names to each individual.
Yep, and it's they even say it, and I think I had captions on because it was one of those things that like you can't even really hear, but the news
I've never
people are
watched this with
talking in the back.
subtitles.
The news people are talking in the background.
Both times I've watched this was without subtitles.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason I picked up on it was because of subtitles.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, then, okay, then I'm going to bring it back again. And if that's the only reason why you picked up on it, then that's stupid.
Yeah, I think
Something
that it's
that
just in the subtitles and
something
it's
that
kind of quiet.
integral to the plot shouldn't be that subtle.
Because
am I wrong?
No, because the first watch through, I had no explanation as to why they thought this guy was Michael Myers. They just saw a crazy guy and they're like, "It's Michael Myers!"
I think I watched this twice before we first did it.
Yeah.
And I was still like, I'm not following.
Like, why
and
in
I
the
watched
world
it
do
again
you
right
think
now,
this
and
random person is Michael Myers? Like, I don't understand this whatsoever.
I was watching it this time kind of looking for that too. Like, hey, maybe there's something I missed about it, and they do have an explanation for it. And I still didn't see anything, so...
That's the explanation, but I think that it's
didn't
super
watch it with
quiet
subtitles
and it's
again.
hard to catch. If I am remembering right.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, you know, the TV is just the background of, like, people are talking. That's the foreground.
I think it's even like, oh, turn that up, and then they turn it
They
up,
say
and
that.
you
They
miss
literally
the
say
first
turn
half
that
of
up.
it because
Yes.
it's so quiet.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
So they say it before they say turn that up.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
That's stupid. That's stupid. You brought me back and you took me right back out. Wow. No, that's insane.
Yeah, that's what I believe happens.
Okay,
That's how I'm understanding it.
If that's how we're understanding it, that's what we're to believe. I'm still pissed. And yeah, she walks in. She goes, "Oh, there's a tiny little man in the back of my car." It's Danny DeVito is in the back of her car, if we're being completely honest.
Oh, yeah, it's the fucking penguin.
And she's like, "Oh, it's Michael Myers, that guy on TV."
She says it's the guy from TV.
And there you go. This is when the music starts playing, the WBNF or something. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, the WURG, the Urge.
So that's playing. And they're like, "Oh, Michael's in there." He kind of just like flashing his lights on and off, which I don't know, man. We saw him fully drive in the first Halloween, if this is taking place after the first, I'm calling bullshit. So they're all like, "Oh, it's him." Everyone should know he drives. They should put that in the story. You're telling me they don't have like a 20/20 on him?
Here's the exactly. And that's how these people should know what the motherfucker looks like. If you live in Haddonfield, you would have at least had the morbid curiosity to look this up on Google once.
Dude, I got into true crime because I started watching it when I was probably like, I don't know, 6, 7-ish, because it was like 2003, 2004 when I got into like true crime documentaries and stuff like that because my parents were watching them. You're telling me in 2021 or even 2019 when you're filming it, 2018, whatever the fuck world you want to put it in, you're telling me there isn't a documentary on Michael Myers?
There's enough people in Haddonfield that
doesn't know about it. You go to any town in the world and you're like, "Oh, what about this myth?" And they're
30
like,
minutes
they're
on
like,
it?
"Oh, you're talking about the Loveland Frog? I know everything about it." You know?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Like that's where their explanation, they did give one, it's still a bullshit explanation. Like,
stupid.
We didn't put the names next to the faces or whatever. Like, that's still stupid. People should know what Michael Myers looks like.
Or you should at least know, again, and you want to attack me, you want to say I'm fat shaming? This guy's so much bigger.
They're such completely different body shapes.
Michael Myers looks like me. If you're watching the YouTube video, you see my wrists? You see this?
Well, that's the thing, too, because we do have to tie this to the original, not just 2018. We have to tie this to the original, and Nick Castle is not a big man. He's just flat out not.
Tall man.
Not even that tall.
But they
make him seem tall.
They make him seem tall. And if we're going by the movie, we're not going by Nick Castle. We're going
you're right.
What we
but
see
he's
in the
not.
movie.
He wasn't buff.
No, not a buff man, but just a very I would say very average sized man. Like he's not me. I'm skinny.
Not the penguin.
No, not Danny DeVito build. Not even like you build. Like Danny
not
DeVito.
Even like me
Danny
build.
DeVito is shorter and like bulkier, and this is the build that this guy has.
Are you complimenting me by saying that I look slightly better than Danny DeVito?
Yeah, man, you're killing it. You're killing it, dude. You're destroying the game, bro.
Oh shit.
Get the fish going.
Blub 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 blub. There they go.
Yeah, man.
There they go.
No,
they should know that this isn't Michael Myers.
Everyone in the world should. And when anyone is saying, "Hey, this isn't him," at least one person should turn and go, "Wait a second. What are you saying? What'd you just say?" Because when you're in a crowd of like anything, there's at least a few people that turn and they're like, Wait, do you know something that we don't know? Like, are we wrong? There's at least 1 or 2 people, and maybe the mob is going to overtake everything.
Right.
But
no one responds to it.
no one.
Not a single person.
Not a fucking person, dude. Where we at?
I think we can pretty much get to there.
But I think,
actually, the next
okay.
thing we're introduced to Big John and Little John next
We do have to do that.
with the little trick or treat prank.
That's what I have next.
Yeah.
Do you want to read my note for me?
Yeah, I got you.
11 right there.
11. Big John and Little John.
So go wherever you want with that.
They're the best part of the movie.
They're great.
They're the best part of the movie.
They're awesome. Just the fact that, look, when you call each other Big John and Little John, that's awesome.
That's fucking hilarious.
But when you're walking around your house and no one else is there and you're like, hey, Big John, hey, Little John, that's fucking funny.
I mean, the very first time I saw this in theaters...
Like, they could just call each other John. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's only one other person there, so they could be like, hey, John.
Or just, hey,
Hey.
there's no one else here. Who else would I be talking to?
Hey, babe.
But no, Big John, Little John.
Hey, Big John. Hey,
But
Little John.
I will say, I am
Big
envious.
John, I don't want to do that.
I'm envious of Big John's whole vibe. I love the robe. I love...
You wore that
dancing.
robe before.
I have a robe very similar. I love just the dancing to old-ass Halloween records.
He's like, I don't want to watch a movie. We're listening to...
Come dance with me, baby. Let's
Wait,
get
maybe-
high and dance.
Maybe I'm Big John.
Dude, Big John's the best.
Wait, but I'm Little John too. I like movies.
Oh, I guess that's true. That's true. that's true.
My physical demeanor goes Big John. But my wanting to sit,
Nah, come
Little
on.
John.
Come on, Little John. Let's dance. Let's dance and listen to records all night.
you want to dance, listen to records?
And get pranked by some fucking punk ass kids.
If a kid ever pranked me by putting razor blades in their fake puke on the ground, I'm sorry. The second you tell me that's a prank and you ran into my house and closed the door and then stole from me, I'm punching each of you in the face. Is that bad to say that I'm going to knock each of those kids out one by one?
Nah, dude,
because I'm
that's
going
fine.
to knock each of those kids out one by one. I'm going to start with the one that had the puke razor blade.
Yeah, for sure that one.
I'm going to go next to the one that robbed me because he ran out by that time. So
Yeah,
he'd
he
be in
was on-
front of me.
He was going off.
He's getting knocked out next. And then last but not least, but that last one that was an accomplice to the puke razor blade, the one that rang my doorbell.
Who's the worst of the bunch?
The one
who's
that gave
the worst of the bunch?
that rang the doorbell? All right. So the next thing that happens is Tommy Doyle, he's like, okay, the key to stopping Michael is the element of surprise.
Yeah.
He thinks you're going to go one way, you pop up another. And then he stops. He stops talking completely. That's where he ends his statement. And I'm like, really? After wait.
Tommy know this?
After 40 years, you're like, okay, one guy goes, no, it's not how Tommy knows this. You go one way, you pop up another. You can apply that to anything in the world. They think you're doing something.
Do something else.
You do something else. Come on, man.
Yeah, I wrote down montage of Tommy giving people the most vague instructions.
He gives the worst advice consistently. He's like, you know what? Michael is this guy. Let's form a mob. Oh, it isn't Michael. They said it was Michael. Then he's like, you know what? He's over there. You over here.
That's pretty much it, bro.
This guy sucks. So yeah, Michael Myers starts killing kids at a park. And then I have another conspiracy theory.
Uh-huh.
This isn't a conspiracy. It's just logistics.
Okay.
This brunette chick, I can't remember who she is.
Lindsay.
Is she the wife of...
Lindsay is the other girl who was being babysat by the...
This is all so deep.
Yeah. Well, and then the nurse, the
So
older
this is
lady
just-
who's the
wait,
nurse,
do you think
is
that-
the one who's in the car with Loomis when Michael escapes.
This is it.
Yeah.
They're all tied together.
Yeah.
They're the loser crew.
This is the loser
The
club.
loser club.
Yeah, for sure. This is it in the Halloween universe. It's all of those kids grown up.
That's so stupid. Yeah, so she starts just tossing bricks into a bag. How many bricks, and I want to hear this from you and from Tough Guy.
Okay.
How many bricks do you think you can stuff in a bag and then easily swing full force? Like, I'm not talking like you can swing if you really, really try. Like, you're trying to bash someone with this bag of bricks. Think of how heavy one brick is.
If I'm being honest, I'm going to cap out at 4.
Like, max, right?
Max.
And
if I'm being honest.
We probably see her put maybe 3 or 4 bricks in this bag, and I feel like we're led to believe that she kept going.
And
maybe she tossed just those, but I feel like even at that, you're a little bigger than me and Tough Guy. Tough Guy, what do you think? How much would it take? Tough Guy, you're muted.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay.
How much
could you do?
Like, if you got a, you know how like
you're like, I'm gonna use this reliably as a weapon.
Let's talk about prison movies. You know, you toss a bunch of bars of soap into a pillowcase, and you're like, I'm gonna beat someone with this fucking bag of soap and in the pillowcase.
My first question is, do I have to carry it around?
Well, you're carrying it around
as
at least
a weapon.
Yeah, because she's kind of sneaking up on him a little bit. So
we're
like,
just talking like
you don't know if you're holding it just for this moment because he's not coming at her right now. It's kind of just like she's holding, maybe not a long time, like a prolonged period, but at least the next maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes.
This would be the equivalent of grabbing a baseball bat.
Yeah.
But instead of grabbing a baseball bat, you shove some bricks in your purse. Like you're preparing a melee weapon.
And you're just walking around with it. Like you're walking around a park holding a baseball bat, but it's a bag of bricks.
I think 3 to 5 is acceptable.
And not only are you just holding it around, you're going to swing it from your back over your shoulder at this guy's face. And, like if you're swinging at someone, I feel like the game isn't like, even if it's a baseball bat, the game isn't really the object you have. You probably want it to be maybe a little lighter, like you want it to be sturdy, but you want it to be a little lighter because you want to swing as hard as you can, right?
As hard as and it not be so unwieldy that you're not ready to swing again.
Yes, so
like you need to be able to swing again.
So my question is, putting all that into perspective, and I don't know if either of you want to change this at all. How many bricks do you think you would want to feasibly swing this pillowcase? And also, wait, let me put one more thing into perspective.
All right.
You don't want to rip this pillowcase.
Also true.
How many bricks can you put in this pillowcase? Can you look up the weight of a brick real quick? How much does one brick weigh?
That's a good question.
Because, I mean, even when you're holding a brick, yeah, like we can hold a few bricks. All of us can. I'm sure most adults can. But how much does a brick weigh? Is it only 4.5 pounds?
4.5 pounds.
That puts it into a different perspective.
No, I think 4.5 is kind of a lot.
That is still a lot, but I actually thought a brick was like, I don't know, maybe 7 or something.
Yeah.
I think I was a little off, maybe.
4.5.
Okay.
No, I'm still... Now 4.5, I would probably go down to 3.
Right?
And Tough Guy over here said 3 to 5, and not to be misogynistic about it, but I would consider myself a little more sturdy framed than Lindsay is.
Look, before all this, I was gonna go 1 to 2 max.
I'm thinking 3 max.
I personally think that 1 brick in a pillowcase will do a lot of damage.
It's probably enough.
Very hard.
Enough to hurt.
Enough to hurt someone, and it's not going to rip open the bag. It's not going to fuck anything else up. I feel like
you probably only need 1.
I don't think you need more.
I think I could handle up to 3, but you only need 1.
I think 2 would maybe be the max that I would go.
Right.
And I saw her put maybe 3 or 4, maybe more in this. Not only is that a lot of weight, not only will that rip the pillowcase, I just think that is not...
It's not a reliable melee weapon.
It's not realistic.
It's not a realistic choice.
And I know this isn't a realistic movie. We're talking about but I don't know, man. This guy got beat up by a teenager after having maybe he was just on steroids during this movie.
Well, here's the thing. The only reason that Lindsay gets away right here is because she tries to take off his mask.
This whole thing, this movie could have stopped 3 different times if these people just killed him.
Yep.
Went through with it. But instead, they were like, you know what? See what you look like. Why does that matter?
But Michael is OCD
James,
about his mask in this trilogy.
But they don't know that. Why does that matter?
It doesn't, because they should know what he looks like, because he's already been arrested. He's already been arrested and had mugshots.
That doesn't even matter. Why don't they kill him? He's trying to murder you and everyone you love.
I don't know.
Why do you take off his mask instead of killing him?
He's OCD about it, man.
I don't know how that didn't kill Judy Greer. She dies later. I forgot she died.
Yeah.
And even when I watched the movie, I was like, shit, really? Like, no wonder I forgot you died. Because that sucked. Didn't her husband die last movie or something, too?
Yeah, her husband died.
Don't remember that.
In 2018.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, he gets his ass killed.
Was it Bob in Stranger Things?
Bob Newby, superhero.
Was that Joyce's?
Yeah. That was
I forgot about him for a long time. And if I can forget about
Samwise
Bob,
Gamgee.
because Bob was kind of cool.
Bob was great, man.
I hated him at first, but then I loved him. He came around.
I hope it doesn't suck.
Dude, Bob's awesome. He came around, and if I could forget about Bob, sure as fuck I'm forgetting about anyone related to Judy Greer in this movie.
Yeah.
Why is Judy Greer in this? But I
No,
also,
hang on.
also
Hang on,
I
hang on,
wish
hang
she
on.
was in Ends.
Hang on. He is the guy in 2018 who's like, oh, I got peanut butter on my penis.
Bob?
The husband.
Wait, what?
He
Bob?
said- I don't know his name.
Oh, you're talking about Judy Greer's husband.
Judy Greer's husband.
I thought you were
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
Bob was in 2018.
No,
I was like,
Bob Newby.
2018 is a great movie.
Not Bob Newby. No.
2018 is pretty good though. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's all right. Judy Greer's husband.
Judy Greer's husband.
Judy
He's
Greer's
like, I got
husband.
peanut butter on my penis.
Oh my god, that was a line in the first one. No, dude, 2018 might be really great.
Because it might have actually been written by fucking Danny McBride. Because it's actually pretty funny.
Damn, no, it had good moments. I remember hating it the first time and then kind of like this. Okay. We're gonna move on. Yeah, I had the brick thing. The male doctor got stabbed in the eyeball. Wow, where this in my note? We already talked about so much of that.
I know. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, that little guy shouldn't be Michael Myers.
Yeah.
That little chubby guy.
Yeah. He shouldn't be.
Michael Myers is tall.
Michael Myers is taller than that guy.
Anyway, they get the baseball bat. This is where my notes are. We have to move so far ahead, James.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this little guy's deranged. He's saying, help me, at the hospital. And people are like, fucking kill him.
It's fucking Michael.
It's Michael. And he's like, please help. I'm so scared. And you can tell this guy's terrified. The complete opposite energy of Michael.
Evil dies tonight.
This is when they start going really in on it. They're like, Michael? Holy shit, it's Michael. They chase him. They're in the middle of the crowd. This is when they do we talked about this, but when either Allison or, I think it was Allison.
Yeah, they're like,
I
that's
think it was
not
like-
him.
They mouth to him. They're like, it's not him. And he's like, wait, really? And they're like,
Wait,
get
really?
him. They break the window, and he's like, well, I don't know what to do. He breaks his window, jumps out of the... There's a really dark suicide theme and ends, too.
There is.
They did that in both of these. I forgot
did.
about the kills ones by the time we got to ends.
Yep.
They did it in both of them. Rough. Actually, ends was worse, though, even though it wasn't exactly the same thing. When she did what is it? Not across the road. Is it down the river? What is it? You know what I'm talking about, man.
I know what you're talking about.
Look, I was really emo at the time.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Guess life
It
still
was
sucks,
down the
but,
river.
you know.
You're right.
It was
You're
down the
right.
river.
It was down the river.
Look. It was dark. Oh my
No, it's
god.
not. No, it's not, tough guy.
It's fun.
Oh, shit.
Emo vibes.
Look, man.
Oh.
It was the reason 13 Reasons Why first season final episode doesn't air on Netflix anymore. It was rough.
Yikers.
That's what they did in Ends. And I actually feel like even though this had actual suicide, it was lighter. I don't know. Is that weird
Yeah, dude,
to
I
say?
think my note says the penguin guy dies. They flash to a few other things, but nothing really important happens until the penguin
You're doing
guy
it now
dies.
too.
You
You're
got me
doing it
on that
now
shit,
too.
bro.
Maybe it's the wine.
It's the wine.
Did we kill? We killed 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want the third?
Not yet.
After this.
After this.
So we see the lifeless body of also the was that the Calkin kid?
What? There's a Culkin in this movie?
There was a Culkin in the first one.
There's a Culkin in the movie?
There was a Culkin brother.
For real?
Look up Tough Guy.
He's a Culkin?
In the first one. I don't remember. There was
I
one
know exactly who you're talking about.
right? Because
He looks like a Culkin.
the eyes, right? It's in the eyes.
Yeah.
They all have the very like they've been doing crack their whole lives, but like not all of them do. It's just Macaulay.
I didn't know that was a Culkin.
I'm right,
But it makes
aren't
so
I?
much sense.
Look at the full cast list, because I'm pretty positive. Yeah, that right there. I'm pretty positive that there is a positive. There's a Culkin, right?
Nah, there's no Culkin. You're fucking
Dude,
crazy,
is there no
bro.
Culkin?
You're fucking crazy. I know.
No,
I think I know who
dude.
you're talking about, though.
Then am I thinking of a different
do a favor,
remake?
Do a favor for me here, Tough Guy. Do Control F on the keyboard.
Dude, I'm looking up the Culkin. Rory Culkin.
Rory Culkin.
He was in Scream 4.
Yeah.
He was in Scream 4. I thought he was in this.
Nah, he not in.
Oh,
this.
dude, he's Euronymous in Lords of Chaos.
Oh shit.
That is him. You see it now, right?
Oh.
He's all the way in the bloody scenes and all that.
Yeah, but so we find the
and he's
friend.
the bad guy in Scream 4.
Yeah.
I thought who's the kid that looks like the Culkin brother in this?
I know who it is.
You know who I'm
that's the
talking about,
body.
right? He's
back us up there,
because
Tough
we
Guy.
see him in the hospital at one point, and he has the hole through his cheek or whatever. Remember,
Yep.
his mom sees him. She's like, "Oh shit, that's what happened to him."
Yep.
He died in 2018. He's probably one of the only other.
Drew
He died at the very
Scheid.
end. Drew Scheid. Yeah, that
Or
is him.
Scheid, whatever that is.
Sheed. Drew Sheed.
That's the one.
Drew Scheid.
But he does kind of have Culkin eyes. You're right.
Dude, he looks like someone else too, though. Dude, Dustin from Stranger Things.
100%.
He has a Dustin thing going on too. Like
100%.
Dustin in 7 years. That's him.
Yeah.
He was in Fear Street also. He was in Fear
Yeah.
Street. Wait, I thought he was a Culkin in that one too. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm like really off in the timeline because it's been so long since I've talked about any of those.
He does kind of have Culkin eyes. I can see where you're
does,
going with
right?
that. I see where you're going.
They
yeah.
have the butthole eyes. Man, I didn't think that was a thing for a long time, but it is.
Oh my god.
You look at the Culkin eyes, and it's a very butthole-esque. It's like
yeah. So Evil Dies Tonight.
Evil Dies Tonight, man. I guess that's not a Culkin. That's crazy. So we should we just go to Michael's house?
We're really close.
Okay.
Lonnie is convinced that Michael is at the old Myers house. And so he takes himself, his son, Cameron,
Big John and
Allison.
Little John are dead.
Oh, we skipped over their death scene, didn't we?
They're dead.
They died. That happened.
People are going to be so pissed because people will probably be like, that's one of the best scenes of the movie. Move on.
It really is the best scene in the movie.
Move on.
Yeah, so they're going into the old Myers house, and Lonnie's like,
Where Big John and Little John are already dead.
yeah, they're dead. And Lonnie's like, fucking, I can't let you go in there with me. Let me do it myself.
So we are there.
And he fucking dies.
And I will say, a Culkin Scheid lookalike. This is the same boyfriend she had in the first movie. You can't tell me otherwise. Same person.
Wait, what?
Same person.
What are you talking
They
about?
look the same.
Who?
This new kid.
There's no new
I'm
kid.
sorry. Lonnie's kid. You were talking
Cameron.
about Lonnie because Lonnie goes in.
Yeah.
But then Allison and Lonnie's kid go. Cameron.
Which is her boyfriend in the first movie.
Yeah, same thing as Drew Scheid. Which
They don't.
isn't
He doesn't
her
look
boyfriend
like
in the first
Drew
one.
Scheid.
Yeah, same thing.
He doesn't look like that
Yeah, no,
guy.
same thing.
He doesn't look.
No, same thing. You know, you're actually right now that I look at him. He's more like Perks of Being a Wallflower, while the other guy is more Home Alone, but with long hair and Rocky Dennis. So you're right, and I'll give that to you. But on that note, fuck him and how he dies. This is my least favorite part of the movie.
Okay, great. Because I have a note.
You have a note?
Because it's
I have a thought.
It's different in the extended version.
I'll stand up
It's
for this.
different in the extended version.
Tell me what happened.
No, tell me your thing first.
My version?
Yeah. Tell me your thing first.
This kid gets beat to a bloody pulp.
Yes, he does.
Gets tossed up and down a staircase, basically.
Yes, he
He
does.
basically walks down and holds him up in front of Allison and goes, "Look, bitch, I'm going to beat his ass." Him being Michael. And then he walks back up and just like smashes his face through the slits in between a banister of the staircase. And then basically teabags him, punches him a million times more. I've seen Michael Myers just throw a guy at a wall and kill him just with brute force immediately, and he pummels this kid.
He destroys this child.
And he's like,
this is an underage child.
He has to be underage or maybe like 19 or something.
He's 17.
Max.
They were at high school prom in the last movie.
You're right. So he's probably 17.
He's 17 or 18.
Beats the fuck out of this kid.
Destroys his face.
And after every time, like, I swear to God, he stabs something through his face at one point, and this kid's like, oh, and at one point he's like, "Allison, get out of here." And I'm like, "You're talking,
bro. There's no way you're talking.
You're telling me you're talking.
There's no fucking way
Michael Myers
you're
hit
talking.
him at least 17 times.
He destroys this human,
and the whole time Allison is like, "No."
She gets so much time to act,
and then a few times she's like, "I'm gonna get you," and then he's like, "Oh really?" I'm gonna do it again. Like,
I'm gonna do it again.
He hits the kid 13 more times in a row, and Allison's like, don't do it. And he's like, oh, really? Like, just starts going in on this kid, destroying him. And she's like, no! It's so prolonged, so ridiculous. Like, I'm not over-exaggerating how many times it goes between Michael Myers beating the fuck out of him
it's insane,
and her going,
dude.
wait, stop it. I'm gonna kill you.
No,
wait, stop it.
Not him.
And,
not my boyfriend.
And let's not mention, like, he's not on a balcony.
Nope.
She's not down at the bottom of the house.
Nope.
She's 3 steps away from
They are stairs.
they're 9 feet away from each other, Max.
9 feet. And she's just like, no! No! Dude, this is like Terrifier shit. This is Art the Clown type of shit.
I swear to God, Michael Myers walks away, puts on a pair of like sunny sunglasses, smiles at her, and then goes back and then kicks him in the face at least 4 times. And then goes back and she's like, no.
So how does he die in your cut?
Snaps his neck.
He does snap his neck. I couldn't remember if that was in the full thing. Because even after
because it
all
takes
of
9
that,
minutes. They're 9 feet away from each other. It takes 9 minutes for him to kill this guy.
After
the
all of
longest
that, he's
Michael Myers
still
kill in the
alive.
world.
The
Dude.
kid's still alive.
Not
so he
after
has
the
to snap his neck.
Okay, I thought you meant after the next step, but no, you're right. He does all of that, and the kid's still sitting there like, Allison. And then finally, Michael Myers walks away, and she's like, oh, leave him alone. He's like, oh, you're right. He is still alive. Turns back around and goes, and then the kid's like,
Yeah, dude.
It's the worst kill I've ever seen in my life.
It's the craziest. It's the craziest kill.
It's
What is
so weird
happening?
because, like, there's a side of me. Sorry, I got hiccups because I'm so excited. There's a part of me that almost should like it.
Right.
Because
it's so over the top.
He fucks this guy up. It's so
Destroys
crazy.
him.
But I don't know, like. But I almost feel like a dick because I'm like, did Danny McBride bring this up as like, this is gonna be a comedy series?
That part was so much fun, but I felt like it wasn't earned.
No.
The whole movie doesn't have that tone. Just that one scene has that tone. Just like the whole movie doesn't feel like Big John Little John. Just that scene feels like Big John Little John.
Remember the end of the movie when like there's just black backgrounds? It's basically like the I know what you did last summer, or I know what you did. I know what you did last summer cover. But it's like,
I mean, we're pretty much at that point.
It's a GIF of the cover, you know, like it's just faces popping on the screen. They're like, like, you know, when you're watching a cartoon or an anime and someone's getting their ass beat, but like you can't show all of them getting their ass beat at once. So like it just flashes and like they're just popping up in different corners. It's like, it's basically the cover art for this show.
It's exactly what it is.
But if we're all just popping into that corner, we're like, we have different facial
100%,
injuries.
It's exactly like watching edited anime for TV. 100%. Yes. That's 100% what it is. And that's actually what happened. The extended cut is still that, but there's
the background's gone, right? Is that what you said?
There's less of the cutting to nothing, and you physically see more
because the faces fade out, physically fade out, and then
so you
another
actually
face
see
will,
what's
will
happening
appear
to
in
the
a different
faces.
spot.
So like I think I even remember like when you see Anthony Michael Hall, like Tommy Doyle, like you see
His
like
face-
his teeth coming out.
His
and
face
stuff
is the
like that.
craziest thing. Did he die? He did, right?
He died.
That's so
He's
crazy.
fucking
you
dead,
almost
bro.
like you can tell that people are dying, but at the same time, it's like if you put your mind in a different place, you're like, oh, I don't know if this guy died though,
Well,
or if this person died.
Then they pulled that shit in Kills where they brought back the neighbor.
Well, they killed Judy Greer after the fight, which is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the fact that this whole movie is based off of, hey, Michael Myers likes stabbing people in this window.
Yeah, this is where he likes to stand and look at the town.
I swear to God, that's a quote for quote thing that Hawkins said. Or
It's
what's his
actually
name?
it's the
Wait,
other cop.
Is his name Hawkins?
His name's Hawkins, yeah. I know.
Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things.
Come on.
And
Come
they
on.
they created this character for now. That this isn't a carryover character, right? Like
Did they want him to be Jim Hopper?
Yeah.
Because he's not Jim Hopper.
he's not Jim Hopper.
They want him to be Jim
And
Hopper
if,
so
if,
bad.
If there's any
Tough guy, when did
iota-
Stranger Things come out? Was it 16, 17? It was before 18, right?
Oh, way before 18.
Was it 15? There's no way, right? When do you think Stranger Things was? Oh, I saw something else.
We're so close.
16. It was 16. Okay.
16 was a
They
crazy
wanted
year,
him to
man.
be Jim Hopper so bad.
And any thing within them that wanted them to be Jim Hopper is an idiot because it's nothing close to Jim Hopper.
This is the worst. This is the worst. I hate this guy with every fiber of my being. I'm done with my notes. My last
That's
note.
it.
Okay, so you know what's crazy? I usually know my notes are ending. I didn't know on this one. I still was ready for the next one, but I wrote, and then Judy Greer basically lets herself die after some speech.
Yep. That's how the movie ends.
I'm done. I had 31 notes and there was 31 kills.
It's pretty good.
Wait, Halloween.
31.
Wait, oh,
Is
5 stars.
that why
5
there's
stars.
31 kills?
This guy just pulled up a. Wait, what is this? Oh, is that a mini? It says $12. Arcade desk, caddy. Wait,
Yeah,
caddy?
It's a mini, I think.
Can you play that?
No,
That's not,
stop.
Oh, no, that's.
Why are you distracting us with
dude,
Stranger
sorry,
Things?
dude,
We were
I was
almost
not-
done with
I'm
the
sorry.
episode,
I'm-
tough guy. I gotta piss.
He's pulling up Stranger Things arcade
didn't-
cabinets,
Get
but it's
out
not
of
a
here.
real
What
one.
the
It's
fuck's
like
wrong with you?
this guy's crazy.
Continue.
Halloween kills.
Wait, but 31.
There's 31 kills in Halloween kills.
And I ended on 31 notes. That was not planned.
That's pretty wild.
You see how I tried to go into 32? That
That's
was
kind
not
of crazy.
I'll show the camera if you guys can see it.
That's kind of crazy.
31.
31 notes, 31
31.
kills, Halloween, 31.
The microwave conspiracy is true.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you kidding me? 31, 31, 31? And now we have to stay up for 31 hours after this episode and play pool.
Fuck off.
It's happening. We're partying tonight. No boobs. Did you see boobs in your extended cut?
No, just dick.
That counts. That counts. That's a boob.
One boob.
One boob. We saw one boob
It's facts.
in the form of a dick. Yeah, see? Yeah, and you made that count. Ends came after this. We covered it before this.
Done and done.
So far in the Halloween series, I mean, okay, me and Bree did Halloween. We did Halloween 2. We did Halloween 3. We did Halloween 2018. And now me and James have done ends and kills.
Yes.
So we have to do 4, 5, 6.
Jesus
I don't think there was a
fuck.
7. It went H2O and then Resurrection, right?
Yep.
We have to do 4, 5, 6, Resurrection, and H2O. We're doing that next year. Next
All right,
year.
Sounds great.
We might do Resurrection sometime before October. Tough guy, mute your mic. I can hear your beard just scratching on the microphone. I still hear it. Oh my, he was doing it purposely. Okay. This guy, this tough guy, see, there was so many times where he's laughing too, and he's just laughing directly into the mic. Like, I love hearing it in the background.
Fucking
That's
tough guy.
hilarious. But like, when the producer's just like, and now he was doing this.
My God.
And his mic is louder than ours.
Tough
so
guy,
it
grow
was
up.
just- grow up.
Got a beard and stuff.
Hey,
That's
mute
kind of
yourself.
growing
Hey,
up.
get out of here.
Oh,
We're
okay.
talking about Halloween kills.
What Halloween?
You were telling the listeners you're not getting to the rest of the Halloween series until next year. That's what I heard.
That's true. You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do before the other things?
We got to rate things.
Before that, I want to go on Letterboxd. I'm gonna scroll. Here, count, and when you stop, count down from something. And when you
Why
stop,
don't I just tell you when to stop?
okay.
Stop.
This, in fact, did not kill 1 star. That was from Red Diamond, circle in the middle of the text. Lily, circle in the middle of the text. Kissy mark,
Perfect.
1 star. The 2.5 stars. Has no one in this series heard of a fucking rocket launcher?
Yeah.
Remember when they did that in Jason Goes to Hell?
They sure as fuck did.
That's what we're all thinking forever. 25 kill streak, Michael calling a tactical nuke.
tactical nuke.
Shout out Modern Warfare 2, and
Oh
can we
my
bring that
God.
back? Holy shit. There's a lot of reviews about just nuking.
Just nuke Haddonfield.
Everyone's like,
Fuck it.
No, James, that right there just says nuke Haddonfield. This one says lure him into the laser hallway from Resident Evil. Can we do a Michael Myers Resident Evil Underworld crossover?
Yes, please.
Can we get Kate Beckinsale?
Anything for that. No, because then we're going to have Lycan Michael Myers.
Kate Beckinsale and fucking Javovich or Jankovic. What's her name again?
Yeah.
What's Javovich?
I think that's it. I think it's Javovich.
Rita?
No.
Shit.
I always forget it.
Dude, we're so hooked
God damn it.
on fucking Kate Beckinsale
I
that
know,
we don't know.
she's our queen.
I used to know Javovich.
Is it Mila?
Mila Javovich, right? Mila Javovich?
Yeah. Mila Jovovich.
It is Mila Javovich.
Jovovich.
We're so hooked on Kate Beckinsale, dude. Like I don't remember her anymore. Okay, I gotta. Remember when we said we would never talk about Underworld again? We were like,
Yeah,
it's
what are you
gonna
doing?
pop.
Stop.
No, I said it was gonna pop up when I try to talk about Mila Jovovich, and I'm gonna get her confused with goddamn Kate Beckinsale. That's what I said, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Fuck.
Full
I
circle.
love Kate Beckinsale.
Full circle.
Bring her in. Trick Michael into swallowing a grenade. Okay.
Just throw one of your batarangs at him.
1.5 stars. I hate this movie.
I gave this movie 3 stars.
I saw that you gave this movie that last year. You're sticking to it.
I'm sticking to 3 stars.
I gave it 2 stars last year. A long, lengthy review. Did you know? I looked at Letterboxd. This was the first movie that you reviewed on Letterboxd in maybe over a year's time.
Yeah.
Because I commented on it and I said something like, "I'm not gonna read this," and I think it was because I didn't see Halloween Kills yet, so I didn't want to know what was going on. And I wrote, "I'm not gonna read this, but I'm so happy that you're back on Letterboxd."
And then I didn't review another movie for another year.
Is that true? I don't know if
Probably.
I paid attention
I
after
don't
that.
know for sure,
I think I
but
just saw that
probably.
one, and I haven't been on Letterboxd in a little while, but I'm getting back onto it.
Yeah, I've been trying to do it
But
again, especially since we're
you know
doing
what?
the ratings on the show, and I'm trying to keep them consistent and not mess it up. You know?
I've been doing it again now, but really, it's made me realize that I have not been watching a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I've been watching so much.
Been
Always
watching
Sunny,
a lot of TV, man.
a lot of Sunny, a lot of Aqua Teen,
Good amount of South Park.
SVU. I'm back on SVU.
Yeah,
again.
you have been
Been
on
watching a lot.
SVU.
That's my next one. I go in cycles of like shows that I've seen millions of times, but I love, and I'll watch
Yeah.
them forever. And I'm back on SVU, but I've never watched SVU like episode to episode. There's like 25 seasons, so I might be stuck for a little bit. I get through the other ones pretty damn fast. SVU might take a little while.
Yeah.
It's hard. And then Nia's on my goddamn Hulu, which we stole from Bri. and she's on it with me, and she's goddamn watching episodes in like season 23 while I'm in
So
like
it's
season
fucking
2
up
right
your-
now.
your fucking-
So it's going back and
yeah.
forth, and she had the audacity to text me. She was like, "Oh, well, blah blah," and I'm like, "Hey, I was on Bree's Hulu before you were ever on Bree's Hulu. Make your own account, shithead." And I even texted her a while because she
You can have multiple users on there, man.
you can. It doesn't matter. It's all about how many people are watching it. You could have more users. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I share my Hulu. There's like
Yeah.
four people have names on my thing
Exactly. She
that
could do
I don't
another one.
fuck with. They
And
have
then
their
she
own
texted me one
profiles.
day. She was like, "Oh, we were watching this video." I was like, "Bitch, you change it. I was on this first. You make a new account if you're so worried about it." And then I started watching it, and I was like, "Hey, well, maybe you're gonna have to change it because I'm watching now." And she didn't. So I'm like, you know what? We'll fight.
There it is.
We'll fight digitally.
The battle to end all
2,300
battles.
miles away. I don't care. And I'll win.
We got to fuck, marry, kill for this shit.
Yeah, I don't watch movies anymore. We could do that. You rate it 3.
Yeah, I still give it 3 stars. I think maybe it's because Halloween Ends was so bad.
Because I think my overall rating on 2018 is like 3 or 3.5.
Yeah.
And that's like after I watched the first time, I hated it, watched again, I was like, oh, I like this. I think I still stand by that in my head. So I just feel weird about your rating, and I don't want to judge you for your rating, but I just feel weird about it because I'm like, what did you rate the original?
Like original OG Halloween?
No,
like 78 Halloween?
2018.
2018 Halloween?
2018.
I don't know. Probably 4, I think.
You think this is that close to 2018?
It's a star off.
See, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I guess, but then again, I guess
There's a lot of interesting
gave
things
it
about it.
I
And
gave-
now that
I
I know
gave-
that there's
I
31
gave 2018
kills.
3.5, and then I guess I gave this one originally like 2. So I guess
Yeah, maybe I was just a little bit higher up on. I was a little more positive than you were on the first one too. So
I'm going down it now. I'm not going down. I'm not sucking it.
yeah,
It sucks, but it's so much better than Ends.
so much better than Ends.
And I know 1.5 compared to the 1 that I gave to Ends isn't that different, but
in this case, it's a huge difference.
it's a huge difference. It's big.
Yeah,
And honestly, Ends made this one worse for me. Again, the Star Wars effect.
that makes sense.
Because you go back to like just again, Hawkins. Everyone's legacy, like what they mean and what they did for the next one. I'm like, okay, I don't care about anything you did. And like rewatchability, I'm always gonna be pissed at this guy.
Yeah,
So it made this one worse for me.
yeah, I agree.
And I
with
know
that.
it shouldn't, but you know what? It should because it's a David Gordon Green trilogy.
It is.
This was apparently his thoughts, as he says.
You don't even have the Star Wars excuse. At least that you can say one of them was directed by somebody else.
Exactly.
Can't even say that here.
Rian Johnston, you know what? Give it back to you.
There it is. I want
Is
to see
it just
him make
Ryan?
a Halloween
Is
movie.
it Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, I think it's just Ryan. He just.
I'm
spells it
calling
weird.
him Rian forever. Because that's weird, right?
No, I want to see his. I want to see his Halloween movie.
It'd be better than this.
It'd have to be, right?
A 0.5 star or 1 star Star Wars movie is somehow better than like a 2-star Halloween movie to me. You know, like if he like came back around and did it, I don't know.
It'd be great.
I'd probably take it.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, because I'd probably watch the Star Wars movies over these Halloween ones again.
Yeah,
As much as I hate them, at least I get to see like some lightsabers and stuff, you know?
it's true.
Okay, well, fuck, marry, kill. Dude, Hawkins.
God damn it.
You got Hawkins. Tough guy, you can get in on this too if you want. You could either help with the fuck, marry, kill, or you could do it. I don't care, whichever we get to first. We got Hawkins. We got Danny DeVito, but not Danny DeVito. It's the...
Yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall.
God damn it.
That makes sense though, right? Like who else? Who else is it gonna be?
CGI.
No, we're not doing Loomis. Loomis is awesome, dude. He's too cool.
Loomis.
Killing.
I mean, how often can you do a CGI character? You know.
No, I don't want to do that though. He's cool. I've done
he's
CGI
good.
before. It's
No,
fine.
you're right. You're right.
Killing Hawkins. God damn it! I'm fucking the Penguin. I'm marrying Anthony Michael.
Really?
But I'm hoping that it's Anthony Michael Hall, but it's not Tommy Doyle.
Actually, I stand by it. No, I agree.
Because that's a fucking tough one, bro.
No, yeah, you're right. You killed Hawkins?
I killed Hawkins.
I agree with you. I fully agree with you, and I stand by it. Tough guy? You disagree? Give us yours. Go ahead.
I didn't really watch this.
He don't know.
I
You
don't
don't
watch
know.
I thought you said you just watched Halloween Kills a few days ago.
No,
Or like a
like a
week
few
ago.
weeks ago. I don't remember.
That's not that long ago.
I had to dude, I've watched so
You're telling
many
me
movies
you watched
since
Halloween Kills and you didn't have feelings about it? Nah, this guy.
then. I had feelings about it. All right, these were my
What's
feelings.
your
You
rating?
ready?
What's your rating?
I probably put it at like a 3.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
No, it's not on there because I didn't
You
put it
didn't?
on there because I didn't really
Oh.
fully watch it. But I remember the fluorescent light kill. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that
the
thing was
neighbor.
crazy. He
The-
just went to grab the light and just.
Light, he smashes it, stabs it in the dude's neck.
Oh, yeah. That was this one?
Yeah.
I almost thought that was 2018.
No,
That's his
that,
mouth.
that one was sweet.
Okay.
That was sweet. And then this one where he just runs across the room to stab that guy, right? He like floated almost. It was
That sounds
earlier in the
right.
movie. Is this
Yeah.
not? Was that kills?
That sounds right.
I don't know, man.
And then yeah, at the end where he's in the street, to everyone.
You liked that?
I didn't like it. I saw.
Oh.
I witnessed it. Definitely saw
He's like,
it.
"Oh,
I saw
it
it. It happened for sure. Okay. Do you like it? Is it on the higher scale of like all the Halloween movies you've watched recently, or the lower?
This year I've been watching from the first one to Ends.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
watched Ends yet, but Halloween 2018 was the first one that was actually enjoying since 4. If that puts it in perspective. And I actually liked 2018 a lot, and I liked Kills enough.
What's your problem with Resurrection?
It's cool, but I like
Mute your mic. Go ahead and mute your mic. I would not recommend this movie.
No, I don't recommend it.
Do you recommend it, Tough Guy?
Yeah, watch the first two.
Okay, mute your mic.
No, watch the first two. You're fine.
Just 2018.
I will say that these are the only ones that I was actually terrified of Michael Myers, and that says more about I don't know, just
the
like
original?
No, because he doesn't scare me in any of the other ones. Even
I don't
growing
know,
up
man.
and
Even though
listening.
I'm not the biggest like Halloween dick sucker, I guess, because I will hate on Halloween just out in the open. I feel like in the past I kind of was like, oh, I like love it, and I want to just say that because I was like, oh, horror, people are gonna be pissed at me. I'll say it now, like I do love Michael Myers. I think he's cool. I don't think he's that cool. Like I like Jason more. I like Leatherface more. I like Hellraiser more. I like pretty much everyone more than him.
I
For
think
the most part.
after Halloween ends,
It's not even after for me, man. I think
Yeah.
I've always just tried to like him more to appease people.
I've really come to the terms. For me, it's a mid franchise. Like
It's not about the franchise
It's
for me, dude. Like I
fine.
just.
Michael's fine.
But I think the original though, like I feel like he has the scare factor, you know.
I think that's the problem.
Maybe
is
it's because
that
I put myself
people-
in that time period too, you know.
It's true.
But I don't know.
But I think, yeah, I mean, horror was different at that time, and what people thought was scary was different at the time. And I think that what a lot of people take away from Halloween is what makes it scary isn't necessarily what makes it scary. I mean, I've heard a lot of conversations with John Carpenter about, some of the things that he had in mind whenever he made Halloween that I can tell you 100% they were not thinking of when they made Halloween Kills. And one of those is like all of these big shots of lonely,
Didn't John
empty
Carpenter,
streets, and like they would.
John Carpenter thumbs up all this shit though, right?
He's an.
wait.
I think he's an executive producer on all 3.
Is he on Kills too? I
think
remember he
so.
was like giving a big thumbs up to 2018.
I think he's credited on all 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How involved do you think he was, though? Because like we said, I don't think David
I think
Gordon
he was
Green...
just helping the score.
I think he saw 2018. He was like, I like what's going on. And he gave him a thumbs up. And after that, he was like, do your thing.
Yeah. But I think him and his son were still doing the score for all of them. But that's because he's
genius.
I was going to say, that's just because he's focused to really just doing music now. He doesn't really fuck with anything else.
I mean, even when he's not doing Halloween shit, he's scoring anything.
Yep.
But not anything, like cool shit all the time.
He's scoring cool shit all the time. And he also toured. He did an entire fucking tour where he played his scores and even scores that he wrote for movies that never got made.
Yeah.
Like all that kind of shit. He's got a ton of vinyl releases. Like,
so we'll never discount John Carpenter is what we're saying.
He's rocking and rolling, man.
Shout out John Carpenter.
He also has Storm King Comics. I don't know if everybody knows about that, but John Carpenter has his own comics brand. It's fucking awesome.
Damn. Well, all right. We have went on with this.
A lot of shit today.
We have went on. I barely even looked at my notes. I knew I probably shouldn't have wrote that many because
I can never tell if this makes for a great episode or a terrible one.
In my eyes, it's good.
I hope it's good. I think it's good. It feels good.
It feels good, right? It feels good.
It feels great.
Okay, then that's it.
All right.
That's it. Yeah, so we're accepting horror and funny stories once more. We used to do it in the past. You remember that, James?
Oh,
yeah,
we'd
get like people would send in audio clips or they'd send just like a story to the email. We're accepting those again. I think it's about that time.
Nice.
It'd be fun. I think Tough Guy will keep us to that thing. Like I said, he made us write down a whole schedule. Holy shit, dude.
Pepper's going all terrain again.
My dog likes to parkour. He likes to jump over things and attack things.
Yep.
He is old. He is a 15-year-old dog, but he will travel.
He's got it. He's spunky.
He is a spunky man. So yeah, we're going to accept all of that again. Tough Guy will hold us to it. If you send things to him, he's going to be excited about it. He's going to be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's listen to it. So we're accepting stories, all that. You can either record something on your phone or you could just type it out and then send it to the email, horrorsoup@yahoo.com. It's good stuff. This is where I'd usually read like a listener review or email or something, but we'll get back into all that stuff soon. Actually, you know what? This has already been a crazy episode. Might as well just go into it real quick, right?
Yeah, here we go.
How many times have we just been like, oh, let's stall real quick and get into this? Let me look at the most recent reviews. And if it's bad, I'm just going to read it anyway.
Just read whatever the
I'm
most
gonna read
recent one is.
the 3 most recent reviews.
Yeah.
Let's see. First one, 5 stars. Literally the only enjoyable ... I don't know what the rest of the title says. That's the issue with Apple Podcasts. It doesn't show you like the whole title. Maybe if we're on a computer it'd show, but I don't know. It's a lot to get to. This is from Diddly Danny Dan. Is that
Diddly Danny Dan?
who are you diddling? I refuse to take stuff seriously. Okay, we get it. Okay, the name? Solid. I refuse to take stuff seriously, and this show has proven to me that I am right. And my cousin is wrong about Thanksgiving. Shout out to Thanksgiving coming back this month for the second time. The people have spoke.
Yes, they have.
Dude, this is all I needed to
That's amazing.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
Do you even need to read anymore?
You know why I started this show? Because I take nothing seriously. My life is fringe. I am disruptive. I like to chaos. I like things that aren't structure.
Yeah.
And you know what? We have fun here. That took me out of it. Scream brought me here.
Oh, okay.
5 stars.
Noise.
Things are going good lately, huh, guys? Look at that. Look at that. Great podcast for horror movie lovers.
All you guys.
The third one's a 5 star.
Let's do it, boy.
You know what I mean? I discovered this podcast from listening to Morbid and Scream. Awesome. Both also awesome. Really enjoying really enjoying the month of Halloween movies from October 2019. Thanks for putting out such great material. That's good because we said we're gonna do
that's modern shit.
Kind of some holiday stuff.
Yeah.
And wait, we're right now the month of Halloween 2019 was when we went hard on Halloween. We did like 1, 2, 3, and then 2018, I think. I think that was when we did 2018. Me and Bri.
Nice.
So, yeah, this is
Score.
It's all tying in, man. And now we're going to do a little bit of Thanksgiving next month for November.
Gotta
do a little
love
bit
it.
of Christmas stuff, holidays. We got to think of some other fun stuff.
Oh, we will.
Cool stuff.
We will.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I like that.
Cool.
So we're doing a bunch of cool stuff, and we're releasing every episode of Horror Soup a day after the audio comes out, or roughly around that time. We might get them on the same day eventually, but that's all on YouTube. You watch the videos on YouTube at Horror Soup. Just look up Horror Soup. It should pop up immediately, but if it doesn't, just look up Horror Soup and then the name of the episode. I think it'll come up like from the last like 3 or 2 going forward.
Yeah.
We're gonna have videos.
Great videos.
It's gonna be fun stuff. We got Tough Guy over here. He's switching camera angles. We got high quality cameras.
Ish.
DSLR. There's an issue with some of the the cameras.
They don't care. They don't care.
The cameras are good. the signal,
We'll figure it out.
and we'll get there.
It's going to be great.
You guys don't care. You don't give a shit. Just watch the fucking video. We have stuff going on. Thank you, friends. It's all cool. When was the last time you posted a night shift video?
Night shift video. Like just Instagram?
It's just like the show.
Like the night shift as a show hasn't had an episode in a very long time.
Probably
Okay.
February, right?
Oh, okay. Do you want to plug that right now? Or do you want to wait till like maybe
No,
it's
there's nothing to find yet.
okay? But if you want to listen to old episodes, you
Night
can
shift
look up
video.
Night shift video. Night shift video. And if you guys don't know or don't listen, I do Scream podcast with Morbid. That's Ash and Alaina from the Morbid podcast. We do horror movies. It's similar to the show, but different because we just try to attack each other. And we do that here, but in a different way. Our movie tastes are different in Scream.
Yeah,
So we try to attack each other.
That's the biggest difference, right?
That's the biggest difference. Thanksgiving, though, is happening again, and they are pissed. And it's going to be funny. So it's going to be great. And patreon.com/horror soup. We're finally back. We're doing a bunch of shit. So far this month, we just released the Blood In, Blood Out audio and video episode. It's like an hour-and-a-half long episode. Very long, like full-length episode, really. We're going to be doing that every month, stuff like that. There's a Tales from the Crypt episode, Twilight Zone episode. We're back to doing trailers of movies that we watch. This one we should probably do, and then do that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patreon I think is gonna be fun again. It's gonna be fun. We got the whole gang for this. Got Tough Guy in the back.
Having a great time.
James over here. And if you want to just follow us on all of the social medias, we're on Instagram at Horror Soup. Twitter is Horror Soup Sucks. Letterboxd, Horror Soup Caleb. Night Shift Video, Vibes_Cleveland. Yeah, that's it for now.
Yeah.
Ross Lee does our intro and outro music, and Ross Lee, you're awesome.
Thanks, Ross Lee.
All the Patreons, you're awesome. All the people that
Thanks,
stuck around,
Patreons.
you're awesome.
Thanks, people.
If you didn't hear it, James is permanent. Tough
Woody
Guy's
Allen-
permanent
Woody Allen's and ants.
until we fucking pummel this guy. Tough Guy.
Victory lap. I gotta pee.
Yeah, in the episode. We're out.